Hello, everybody. Hailing frequencies are open. Welcome to Shield of Tomorrow, our Star Trek RPG show here on Geek and Sundry, Alpha and Twitch. How's everybody doing? I haven't really got a chance to talk. I didn't get a chance to really talk to y'all before the game tonight because everything's been so insane today. On that note, special thanks on the top of this episode to Ryan Green, also known as Glitter Lord, for running home to walk my dog. While we were.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
You are
appreciate it. Punky loves
Lord
you.
of the glitter.
He is currently standing outside my apartment trying to get the key to work. Good luck, Ryan. All right. So let's go ahead and jump into announcements for the night. So at the top are the date for our Star Trek play along. We actually haven't gotten confirmation on that yet. We were supposed to have it. We were supposed to have it today. We don't have confirmation just yet, but it looks like it's going to be the final weekend of October. We can confirm that on Twitter. Probably tomorrow we'll send out the word to let everybody know. But that's kind of what we're looking at. It'll depend. It'll be about the same weekend as LA Comic-Con. So it's going to be kind of iffy, but we're only going to be here for a few hours, so we might be able to get a bunch. I'll be here, and I think Bonnie's going to make it a shot to be here, and
because I love you that much.
And then we'll just have various crew members you've never seen before in empty chairs, and we'll play along. I thought that joke was funny. Anyway. Okay,
cute,
announce the... Oh, okay. Also, something that we've got planning right now, I don't have a date announced for it yet, but just to give everyone a heads up, we are planning to have a special one-off episode of Shield of Tomorrow at some point here in the near future to raise money for Puerto Rico. So we're going to be doing like a charity episode for Shield of Tomorrow. So we will keep you guys apprised of when that's coming up. Sax and I have been trying to organize when that's going to be taking place. So I'm throwing a bunch of pre-announcements at everybody tonight.
Yeah.
It's coming, guys, it's coming. On that note, I should say that we are actually having another giveaway tonight, as always, Star Trek Online, because there are buds. We get to hang out with them at Star Trek Las Vegas. They're our pals, and they're giving us more codes for giveaways tonight. So make sure to support the show and click on those links to take you to the Star Trek Online website, and the giveaway codes will be given away during the break. So stay active in chat while we're on break, and you will be getting I believe it's a temporal agent pack, although they just came out with the new expansion, so we'll see. Next up, Modifius. Modifius just announced the Star Trek The Next Generation tiles have just come out. They've just announced those. Those are available in PDF on Drive-Thru RPG. So that's kind of rad. So the thing is for a lot of you folks who don't know, Star Trek Adventures is also designed to be a miniatures game. They have their own miniatures that they've been coming out with. I've seen them.
They're so good.
They are so amazing.
Good. We need miniatures.
They're amazing.
We can put our
They're
little
not
people.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought they were gonna be like board game. I'm not talking smack. I'm just saying, like, I thought they were plastic miniatures. I just assumed that they were going to be.
We would have accepted a much lower standard of excellence.
Yes,
and
I
then
was
we
totally
saw
down
them
with
and
it.
We were like, character, expression, choices.
Wow.
Ah!
Dude, yes, I saw the Klingon miniatures. And I was like, holy hell! And the Star Trek: The Next Gen miniatures that they have for every character. I'm really impressed. Their Fallout miniatures are amazing too. So anyway, Modifius is actually doing an incredible job on their minis. So so those tiles have come out and they are available on Drive-Thru RPG. Hector, as you have noticed, is not here tonight. We are down one Captain Martinez, so he will be piked.
Party on the ship.
I checked. He's not even close.
He might be under the table. She kicked.
Is there a Hector under there?
Yeah, those are his feet.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're fine.
He left his feet here. The rest of him's
We just assembled Hector. We'll be putting him back together later.
Yeah.
It gets dark.
Science news. I don't know if anybody's heard. Today was a huge day. Actually, the big day happened back in August, but today was the big announcement that astronomy has essentially been changed forever. Today, after a few months of research, I think something like 45,000 scientists worldwide have contributed to the publications and research findings of what they've just announced today. But Quantum Magazine report, along with a bunch of other science magazines, have confirmed today that 130 million light years away, scientists detected two super dense neutron stars, each as small as a city, but both heavier than the sun, collided together, producing a colossal convulsion called a kilonova that sent telltale ripples through space-time that can be detected here on Earth. Proving yet another theory of Einstein's was proven correct.
Science is happening, you guys.
He was wicked smart.
Happening right now.
Yeah, he did all right.
So much
He
science.
did all right. You need to
much
calm
science.
down, Einstein. Dang. Like,
I don't
Can't
get
stop,
that.
won't stop.
dude needs it.
He may be calm already.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
And tonight, our Jody Hauser humor will be delivered by Gina DeVivo.
Too soon.
Always too soon.
This Jody Hauser moment was brought to you by Gina DeVivo.
I didn't even have to roll dice.
I know, it's amazing. So that's pretty rad. That actually happened. So we send our condolences to the two neutron stars that died 130 million years ago. But hey, thanks for sending us your mail. It was cool to figure out. And obviously want to do a real quick shout out to thanking Anovos for the rad uniforms that we wear, even though I only ever partially wear mine. But I'm wearing my Zephram Cochrane Memorial Library t-shirt tonight, so it does count in my opinion. But yeah. So that's it. That's all I've got for my announcements. Does anybody have anything announced for the channel that they're doing recently? Anybody got any Wednesday Club announcements you want to throw out there?
Oh, we have a lovely Wednesday Club this week. We're very excited. We're doing Hellboy this week with one Liam O'Brien.
He loves him some Hellboy.
I'm really excited.
I'm gonna watch that.
He's a gaffer on Hellboy, right? Liam O'Brien? Wasn't he like a gaffer on the movie?
I can't rule it out.
I think he was a gaffer. Or a grip? Maybe he was a grip. If you're watching Liam, I apologize if you're a grip. Anyway, I think I've heard of him, is what I'm saying. I may have heard of Liam O'Brien.
I hear he's some guy who likes D&D.
Yeah.
But,
D&D.
Taliesin says he's really nice, so we're going to have him on the show to see
All right,
if
we'll
he's
see how it
camera
goes.
good at all.
We really need to check these guest
test him?
I should ask.
Okay.
Should I not ask?
Maybe someday.
Does he get that all the time?
Right.
What
He's a descendant of Miles O'Brien, perhaps?
Oh, hey.
Or progenitor, I suppose.
Or, yes, sorry, ancestor.
You know, it's true. When it comes to us Irish, you can, in fact, lump us all in together, because we're everywhere.
Yeah, we're probably related.
Probably. Yeah.
I have a quick announcement.
Yeah, fire away.
This weekend, for any watchers that are in Alabama, if you're in Alabama, we are going to be performing at QuestCon. It's a Comic-Con down in Mobile, Alabama. Library Bards will be there. I will be there. I guess I am a library bard. And, sorry, that should have just...
Wait, you're in the Library Bards?
Yeah, and speaking of the Library Bards, if any of you watching are part of the Recording Academy, today starts the day for voting for the Grammys. Guess whose album is on the ballot for comedy? I should just say it.
That's a good announcement.
Yeah, so if you guys are voting for the Grammys,
Can we, retweet
the Library
this or something?
Bards, yeah, it's on Twitter. If you follow me on social media, that's all you've seen all day, because I've kind of gotten a little crazy. But if you're part of the Recording Academy,
Grammy.
we're trying to get nominated for a Grammy. No big deal.
No big
Best
deal.
comedy album 2018. Grammys.
Big deal.
Bardcore.
deal.
Yeah, I'm
Hashtag
totally retweeting
Bardcore.
this right now.
Bardcore. All right, guys.
Exciting.
Well, without any further ado, I think we're ready to jump into tonight's episode. Except for wait,
What?
we have a segment of Sam Loses Their Shit. Yes, indeed.
Hey.
There is a segment of Sam Loses Their Shit.
Oh dear.
Here we go.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
gonna have to open this.
It's a
It's a big box.
This is. They got me a box.
All right,
you
I'm here for
guys.
support.
Got a box.
It's just what I always wanted.
I wish I had some popcorn.
Wait. Find out if they're smaller boxes.
All right, everyone, get ready to make your gifts.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Oh my goodness. Oh.
Someone had caught on, I guess, that Sam is into art now.
Yay.
Since
And now I have 120 gel pens.
Beautiful.
To use
Look at all those
for my art.
colors.
And also, I'm just gonna color on myself. That's the best thing about childhood.
I
That's
am
basically
actually
my
picturing you
childhood.
unstopping
Oh no, I
all the
lied.
pens and
Because there's another 60 gel pen.
Holy moly.
Oh my goodness.
80 gel
just
pens.
180 gel pens.
Wait, sorry. Another 3 gel pens.
183 gel pens.
183 gel pens.
I feel like this is going to turn into a drinking song.
And brush pens.
Do we add those to the count? I'm conflicted.
184.
No, separate.
It's not a separate
183
part of it, but also
Two
separate.
And marker pads so I can draw and everything with all of my pens. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Who are these from?
Is there a
I'm
note in
about
there?
to find out. Piper's twin, you are ridiculous.
Piper's twin.
Oh my god.
Thank you for making our Sam lose their shit.
Thank you
and
for this week's
perpetually.
episode of Sam Losing Their Shit.
much.
Someone once commented, they're like, wow, the rest of the cast doesn't get too many gifts. And I'm like, are you kidding? Watching Sam lose their shit.
No, yeah.
That is our
Entire
gift.
cast.
That is our
Don't
gift.
need anything else.
We are good to go. This is a gift. We are perfectly pleased. All right. Well, we're gonna get some tissues for Sam, and then we're gonna launch into tonight's episode of Shield of Tomorrow. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Shield of Tomorrow. Before we get started, a quick shout out to Cillian on our Discord chat, who buzzed their head in solidarity with Commander Rue, and it looks rad, I must say.
Rue is super happy right now, and everything is wonderful.
Pretty rad. Yeah.
This is an update. Yeah, everything's great, y'all.
Everything is awesome. All right. Well, we have a whole Star Trek game to play tonight, so let's dive in, because we left off at some pretty heavy moments last episode. You guys had the Sally Ride staged an unsanctioned rescue operation in Klingon territory without any oversight whatsoever.
Then they should have sent someone.
You invaded a Klingon world. You attacked an Orion pirate and the operation that was taking place, rescuing one of your crew members that has been lost for over a year, press ganged into service by the one Commodore Malgog, with the help of Stupid Sexy Zazzard, as everyone has come to love calling him.
Everyone loves calling him that.
Everyone loves calling him that.
I didn't start the fire.
Started the thing. So Zazzard, with Zazzard and Zazzard's crew's help, you managed to rescue Lind Zadis and return to the Sally Ride, the original chief engineer of the USS Sally Ride. There was some conflict, of course, which everyone expected. You guys managed to sort of infiltrate this Klingon homeworld and get homeworld, but this Klingon planet, which was near the edges of the Federation Romulan Klingon neutral zone, the trifecta. It's become kind of a hub for crime, so to speak, especially since the war effort is underway. But you did manage to get through, get in, and get out before everyone really noticed you. The operation took less than 24 hours, and you didn't get caught. Thanks to Zazzard giving you all a nice ride on board his clunker. However, there were a few moments of contention, especially when Zazzard's lover decided to start murdering some of Malgog's men. But the big reveal, of course, at the end, after the rescue operation, was Zazzard's reveal that the information that he attained in order to listen in on encrypted transmissions from the Klingon intelligence to Starfleet, it was in fact given to him by one Commander Rue. And I have to say, Sam has been fretting about this all week.
All week, you guys. I'm so compromised. So compromised all the time.
And yes, I've actually been worried about you. I haven't seen you like this since the Davros game. So,
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So, anyway, it's been about a week since the rescue mission took place. It's been a full week.
God.
During that time, the crew has been relatively, I wouldn't say standoffish, but everyone, the feel on the ship, specifically Rue, referring to the people under your command, there has been a sense of no one's saying anything, but they're saying it all. Everyone just is giving you looks. No one has actually confronted you, and Captain Martinez hasn't called you into his ready room for an explanation. I can give Rue this right now to give you context. After serving on board this ship with these people for enough time, you've come to realize that there's enough respect for you and your service to this Federation that Martinez is waiting for you to come to him with an explanation. In the meantime, it's been a tricky process of finding one. There's been a few conversations with a few of those serving underneath you, but for the most part, it's been everyone's been just really focused on the travel into the mission. However, we've kind of reached that point on the ship where the silence has dragged on a little too long, and there are too many questions. And you're also, Rue, if you're gonna uncover what's really going on, you're obviously gonna need help. So that's kind of that awkward, bizarre state that things have been left in. And it's stretched on for about 4.5 to 5 days now. No, your command hasn't been compromised and everyone has followed orders. But it is the atmosphere on the ship has been weird for Rue, for sure. I would definitely say that much. You guys are a week's worth of travel into Klingon space right now, following the corridor. It has been a very quiet trip. The only thing that's really been kind of a focus for people outside of the confusion that's going on with the commander is Zadis himself. Zadis he is a changed man. Thanks to the ministrations of the doctor, you have been able to heal a lot of the internal injuries that he sustained over a year of brutality. The psychological effects, however, have taken a deeper toll. And Zadis has yet to resume duty. He is constantly seen in the galley when he's out of his quarters at all, in civilian clothing, usually sitting by himself. But he does muster a smile and polite conversation to people who come up and talk to him. He's doing absolutely everything perfectly to avoid any kind of conversations about how he's doing.
I assumed we have offered him a choice about whether to go be returned to some, like, an R&R facility or to come with us.
Well, that's the problem.
I know we're in deep space, but...
Well, the problem is that if you return with Lynn Zadis, Starfleet's going to ask where you found him and how you got him.
I assume the captain has a plan of some kind.
The captain's plan is to proceed with the mission, currently. Martinez has decided that whatever happens, they can't miss their window. You guys cannot miss your window through the corridor. The Klingons have graciously allowed a Federation starship to pass through this travel corridor to keep connections with Shackleton Expanse open to the Federation, specifically because you guys have more than one starbase waiting for you on the other side of Klingon territory. It's there by the good graces of the Klingons, but travel through Klingon territory favors had to be pulled. And also, it would create further tension with the Federation to just suddenly sever contact with the other side of the Shackleton Expanse. However, considering how Gowron is treating the relationship with the Federation and the Klingon Empire right now, it wouldn't be surprising at all if you caught wind the next day that the corridor had closed. So the captain ordered Warp 7, and you guys have been traveling since. The crew's been trying to use this time to sort of relax a little bit as much as they can. Even though you're not at yellow alert, you are passing through Klingon territory, and you're not allies. What's up, Bonnie?
The greenhouse project that the captain put me on, I killed a couple ferns, so I've passed it along to Chief Wren, who actually knows about plants.
Okay.
So just so everyone's aware, Sage is not working on that anymore because she killed a few plants en route.
Chief, it's an understandable mistake to make. People who do space travel and make it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They often confuse the
They
wrong...
forget to clip the dead parts off, and it just rots. I mean, it's a process.
It
takes a while.
I didn't know it needed like dirt.
But it's also a
and water.
Yeah.
But the principal mistake
What is
people in
that?
space travel make is applying the appropriate light energy to the plant. Most of it has to be
I burned the greenhouse.
So
that's for you.
But it has been a surreal week of quiet. and just day-to-day operations on board the ship. There hasn't even been a lot to do scientifically, except for the thing that everyone's been focused on scientifically on the Sally Ride since you guys have entered space is tree face. Plant face. Plant face.
Jenny.
Jenny.
Oh, Jenny Plant Face. Yes. The nickname that the ship has come up for with the life form creature, who, by the way, is still attached to a removed bioneural gel pack that has been installed in his shuttle and is being powered through that shuttlecraft. There have been some remarkable readings coming off of the life form. As you know, bioneural gel packs function much in the same way that a human brain might. It has the same neural connectors and is able to operate at incredible speeds. Even though it's not necessarily a sentient living thing at all, it operates as a brain might in this regard. So this creature that's latched on and has been essentially getting nutrients from the energy sources based off that's being generated by the shuttlecraft and the bioneural gel pack, it's creating biological signatures that have never been recorded before. And to say that this little bitty life form has become one of the most astonishing biological creatures you've ever witnessed is putting it mildly. The frustration on the long term is, who are you ever going to be able to tell about your discovery? And what are you going to be able to publish? What are you going to be able to learn? What are you going to be able to submit to Starfleet? The acknowledgement of the existence of this life form could cost every single one of you your careers, or worse. And that's where we pick up tonight's game. A quiet evening in transit. It's late in the duty shift for the senior staff, but things have been calm on the Sally Ride. And Martinez is retired to his ready room to finish up a lot of the duty reports. We start on the bridge, where it is calm and quiet. You are engaged at Warp 7 right now, traveling through, again, the first leg of your journey through Klingon space. There's nothing on the sensors. It is a quiet day. Commander, you're sitting center chair right now. Unless you want to leave it. Captain does not have the bridge. You do.
I would have Talon take the bridge. I'm on limited
then
administrative
let's address that
leave.
then. What actions have you taken then? What has Rue done in this time period to themselves? Because it sounds like there's some.
Yeah.
Okay, so what and when did Rue do anything? Fill me in.
Rue placed himself on limited administrative leave immediately.
Okay.
Stripped all non-essential computers access down to what guest privileges would have, so that if their access code is somehow compromised, that it would not be used. They have Zeta's escort at all times.
Okay.
And they've been conducting
let's
an
do
investigation.
this.
And they have been
In their quarters,
In their quarters this whole
mostly?
time?
Entirely?
mostly quarters to conduct investigation.
Okay.
Office.
So then let's do this. We'll pick up this in your quarters. There's a ring at your door. You hear the chime.
Enter.
Shh. The door opens up. You see Jiv. It says, "Commander, mind if I come in?"
Please.
Steps inside. Walks over without much more of a word. The Tellarite just kind of thuds past you in his typical abrupt fashion and helps himself down onto one of the sitting chairs in the middle of the room. Just thought you'd want to see it. He lays down a data pad. It's what you asked for. He hits the button, and you see a time code. You see the inside of your quarters. You see yourself going to sleep. You see a time elapse, and then it slows to another time code. The lights come on in your quarters as you get out of bed and move over to a desk, your work desk, where you move papers and pens out of the way. Sitting down, you are watching yourself on a console, waiting patiently. And then a few moments later, you see a face appear on the console, and Jiv pauses it and says, go. And he taps it a few times, and you see it zoom in, zoom in, zoom in on the quadrant, and you see Zazaret's face. And he hits play. And you hear, Commander, this is unusual. And you say, enough. I have the access codes for you. Use these. And you begin to rattle off. As you're listening to the access codes, these are codes used in emergency circumstances for Starfleet vessels to be able to communicate over secure lines in case an enemy is listening in. They are only allowed to do captain and commander.
What is the cadence of the voice I'm using?
It doesn't sound anything like you. You sound robotic. It's almost like you are computerized. Like you're just rattling the numbers off as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And when you're done, Zazaret looks at you and says, why are you doing this? And there's a beat, and you hear yourself say, I wouldn't worry about it. Just take what I've given you and use it. Don't tell anyone. Beep. You stand back up, shuffle back over to your bed.
What does my movement look like?
It looks like shuffling. It doesn't look like you at all. It looks like you're unfamiliar with the use of your own crutches. So as you move over, it looks like you're kind of navigating the movement. And when you reach the bed, the crutches drop to the ground, and you lay back down and pull the blanket up over you, and the lights go out. And Jiv stops it and says, I've watched it a dozen times, Commander. I wanted to make sure it was real. I didn't believe it. In fact, most people on the ship don't believe it. Not that you asked for the scuttlebutt, but just letting you know.
I appreciate it, Jiv. Thank you.
Well, let me know if you need anything else. He stands up.
Thank you.
You know, I do have alcohol on board the ship.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry, it's just...
Where is that exactly?
He smiles and says, no, I was lying. I just wanted to see you again. We missed the commander.
You'll do just fine.
Well, let me know if you need any more help from the outside.
Dismissed.
He moves out of the room.
When the door opens, I'm standing there with the box, very awkwardly, and
Shh. Jiv stops and goes, someone needs to put a bell on you, and walks past you.
I do not require a bell on my person. Commander, may I enter your quarters?
You may.
I enter, and I stand awkwardly in the middle of the room.
Would you like to have a seat?
It is best for us both to be on the floor.
To what purpose?
I have brought you something. And it requires being close to a grounding surface.
We're in the middle of space.
I understand that. We are not on a ground, but the most grounding surface on this spaceship is the ground, the floor.
Fair enough. Would you like to tell me what's in the box?
I sit down cross-legged right where I am.
Okay.
I put the box in front of me, and I wait for Rue to sit across from me. I start to open the box, and I start talking as I do. In ancient Vulcan culture, there is a practice called Kythera. It is a form of meditation. It involves using these blocks to build a structure. And as you build the structure, you perform a chant that helps you to call logic and balance into your being. Would you like to perform this with me.
I've never been much for meditation conducted while sitting still.
I do not think we should amend the parameters of Kythera. It is very effective if you are focused on building the structure.
At least it's gotten you into a room with me.
I must apologize for waiting so long to approach you. I felt that you likely would need the space for your own thoughts.
It's been a poor and foolish decision. It led most of the crew assume I'm complicit in sabotage against the ship. As if an intelligence broker had turned a ranking security officer into an asset and then declared it in front of the senior staff. But somehow, that's the gossip. All right, Thera.
So as I chant these words, you will take a block and start to build your structure.
Any guidelines for building?
It will be whatever is in your mind and in your own soul.
You don't want to get anywhere near my soul.
Structure, logic, function, control. The structure cannot stand without a foundation. Logic is the foundation of function. Function is the essence of control. I am in control. I am in control.
Yellow alert, senior officers to the bridge.
I have replicated this Kythera set for you, so you may use it whenever you wish to.
Thank you. Up to the bridge. Call Zed if you need him.
I walk over to the door. I turn and look at them, and then I leave.
Back up on the bridge, Captain Martinez has taken center chair as you have received a distress signal, Bonnie. Sage has received it only moments ago. As senior officers begin to enter the bridge and you watch as Talon moves out of the turbolift and assumes her sign station, Ren stepping in and also assuming your ops station, Doctor stepping onto the bridge to see distress signal is one of the things that the captain said to you when he messaged you personally and asked you up onto the bridge. So medical emergencies, you're not sure, already reporting in to see what the situation is. Martinez gives you all a look and says, "We are missing someone." And moments later, you hear a chime in your ready room. "Commander Rue."
Yes, Captain.
"I noticed your chair is empty."
Zed will be up there presently.
"Well, Z doesn't have a chair. He can stand if he likes." "I'll see you on the bridge in a few moments." Martinez out.
I don't hit anything.
Quick question. Have you been to see me this week?
Do we want to flash back to that? Because that happened.
I would love to flash back to that. Let's do that in a minute. Let's do that.
We can say
Or
that
it will happen.
We'll do that as a
yeah.
cut scene here in a second, but I would love to see that. Yes, I'd like to see how that went down. A few moments later, and you step off the turbolift.
Yeah.
Okay. You step off the turbolift, and Captain Martinez turns and looks at you and says, "Commander, we just received a distress call from a Klingon world, Kanjis II. And here's what's interesting about it." He points. You see that it's a Klingon distress call and a Federation distress call coming from a colony simultaneously.
Do we have anything in database on this?
I'm having Talon look it up. Talon, what do you have? Go ahead and make your roll. The difficulty is 0.
Get that momentum.
Sally's database helping out.
Yep, Sally's database would totally help out.
Computer.
One success
con?
and then one critical fail.
Whoa.
Okay. What's that?
Computer's con?
Competition.
Yeah.
But it was difficulty was 0, right?
Oh, but I
we
can
didn't-
Difficulty
reroll.
was 0.
And and also I have the power.
The
Wait,
power.
do I? Yeah.
Crit from Sally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Crit from Sally?
I
So
can reroll
4
one, I think.
So 5 successes
If
total?
it's
Well,
let's
wait.
see.
You guys, how many with the difficulty?
She only
0?
got one.
I got
success.
one success.
Oh.
She's gonna re-roll.
But there wasn't one.
Yeah,
the
I
assist
can
was a crit.
re-roll one d20. So I guess.
Okay,
I'll
go
do-
ahead.
There were 2.
So we got 3
Complication.
successes total.
Oh yay! One critical success then.
Okay, so 5
5
successes.
successes.
Wow.
I
Yay.
totally called that. All right, I've been reading a lot of Ravenloft.
We
lately,
have
a lot
built
of
that
Tarot deck
momentum.
going on.
Nice rolling.
Okay, so yes, so the Kanjis system immediately brings it up on the view screen. Kanjis II was a colonization project that the Klingon Empire had initiated about 2 years ago. It was taking place on a Class K planet. It was barely inhabitable. They installed habitation rings in an enclosed environment to begin not only moving colonists onto this world, they also had plans to terraform it and make it habitable. It would take a few years, but they were already in the processes of doing it. This world supposedly is also of interest to the Klingon Empire because of various resources and minerals that the Klingon Empire could use for their military. Nothing remarkable, just another strong deposit of like metals and crystals and whatnot that they can use for their bridges and such. But the big thing is the part of a joint, I guess a mission of friendship, if you want to call it. The Federation apparently sent a small team of engineers and scientists to help them with this project. And they've been here for the past year and a half, helping the Klingons build a colony here. Apparently, according to the distress signal, which is text only, they are losing power and are desperate for help. There's not much more to the message than that.
Can you spell Kanjis?
Kanjis. Got it.
So close.
Here's the Martinez goes, but here's the problem with it. And he taps a few buttons on his chair, and you see the corridor y'all are flying in, and you see Kanjis, well off the beaten path.
Are there any Klingon ships around that would respond to the distress call as well?
We wouldn't know. They'll be cloaked.
Oh, that's right.
When you say off the beaten path, you mean out of the corridor we're approved to be in and
That's
in
correct.
Klingon space proper.
That's correct.
But it's a Federation distress call.
There is a Federation signal in the distress call itself. And according to the computer, there's Federation personnel that is on this planet.
We
Do
still
we have anything in the database records about what, if any, agreement was made since the breaking of the Khitomer Accords with respect to this colony?
With that many successes, I'll just go ahead and give it to you. No. In fact, there's no record of anything changing since the Khitomer Accord was broken. And going through computer databases and looking at the records, you are able to put 2 and 2 together. It looks like these folks probably just got forgotten about out here. In the mix-up of all the war and everything that's happened, here's the other thing, though. Rue, if you want to roll... Actually, Rue, this would be good for you. If you want to roll a reason plus command, and the difficulty will be 2.
Yep. Go ahead. You want to burn?
Yeah. If it starts with reason, this is not my strength.
Reason is not my strength. Commander Rue.
Strength
Quote, unquote.
is my strength.
We will change that with our Kithera practice.
You can certainly try.
In your sleep, Talon just sneaks into your quarters and puts Vulcan ears on you. Sneaks back.
We'll make a Vulcan out of you one of these days. Creepy.
I don't think I have the ears for it.
What'd you get?
2.
2.
Ooh.
Okay. Just looking at this from a tactical standpoint, you can already kind of put the pieces together. It's likely that the Klingon Empire, probably the moment they went into wartime, probably started monitoring and blocking any traffic that was not priority out of the Klingon Empire. With the changeling threat abound and the Dominion and paranoia everywhere, it's very likely that if these Federation personnel were trying to call home, the Klingons weren't letting them.
Captain, I don't know how helpful this will be, but we still do have a dump shuttle down in the cargo bay. We could fly that down. I don't know if taking Sally would be the best.
That's a good point, Sage.
Could we try communicating with them?
It's worth a shot.
Sage, try hailing them.
Hailing?
Okay, you open hailing frequencies.
Hailing frequencies are open. Pushed all the little buttons.
You do not receive a respond to the hail. But
How old is that distress call? Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like it's looping, but it looks like it's been restart. It looks like it restarts every 24 hours.
How long has it been going?
That's how long it's been transmitting.
Okay.
It's been transmitting 24 hours. But I mean, it has been blasting out through space. So you can actually detect that with signal degradation and also the echoes coming off of the signal, that every 24 hours, it's being restarted. It doesn't look like it's a computerized restart because the looping cycle is not efficient enough. It almost resembles like somebody is manually resetting the distress call.
All right, I think the dump shuttle is a good idea. If they're cloaked Klingon vessels looking to blast any ship that goes out of the corridor, we should have a minimum number of personnel to get, well, shot out of space.
I'll get my kit.
I'll lead the away team, sir.
Very well. Pick who you like.
Right. Sage, we could use your piloting.
Ensign, take us out of warp.
Oh, yes, Captain. Impulse.
Sally Ride just comes down. The starfield comes to a dead stop as you guys go to stations keeping, and the nacelles lock in place. Sally Ride is now at full stop.
Right. Sage. Shishiros. Zed, you're on me. If it happens to look like we're having a little bit of engine trouble on Sally, that might explain why she's gone out of warp, if any Klingons come looking.
Of course.
Ren, make it happen.
Stay here. Make sure the ship's safe.
Right. Let's go.
You all load up into one of the Orion dump shuttles, capable of low-range warp, but you guys are still within range of this planet. It is a cramped shuttle. For all of their talk of decadence, the Orions apparently don't make very comfortable space travel. It has one sitting area, one bed, and 2 chairs.
Rin and I pimped it out, though. It's
Pimp
Yeah,
out
we
like-
spent a lot of
Pimp my
time in the
Pimp
dump
my
shuttle.
Yeah,
We've been
like
remodeling
fixing
them
it
a
up,
bit.
you know, or some like
So
neon
then I think
lights.
this is the Zazaret then. We haven't had that
Zazaret.
long with the new dump shuttle.
Oh, isn't this? This is the first one, right?
Well, one of
bigger
them-
Malgox
one.
has been turned into a greenhouse. That's
Right.
now in
Oh, I
cargo
thought the
bay
dumpier
2 and not in the
sure.
shuttle bay.
Okay,
Right.
But-
I'm getting them flipped. Okay.
From last episode, the shuttle pilot said that he's our new shuttle. So we're back up to 2 dump shuttles.
That's right. We got a new one.
Yeah. But if it is one that is pimped out, then it would be
We
Zazaret's.
fixed that little disco ball. We're good.
There might have already been like waterbed, Zazaret.
Yep.
That seems like his style.
Water bed.
One of us looking very uncomfortable in here.
Oh man.
I don't know why, but that just reminds me of the walking into a hotel room and turning on a black light just to make sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Why would you do that?
Little bit.
Why would you the water
Why
bed's
would you
an
do that,
aquarium?
Throlo?
It's like a fish.
All right.
All right. Anyway, wait, it's not that fancy. We're just let's just say it'll be a smooth ride.
Will be if you're flying.
No.
So we're going to go ahead and just say that you all load up into the shuttle and engage at warp, heading to Kanjis II. The system itself it's probably about a 45-minute warp jump from here. It's still far enough off the beaten path from the corridor to warrant being noticed and possibly in trouble. Far enough off the beaten path that you couldn't say, oh, we just kind of lost our way and need to realign ourselves. It's far enough off where that excuse probably wouldn't work. Jumping to warp, Martinez says, Talon, do your best to keep an eye out for any ionization effects you might see in space. If there are cloaked ships out there, it's going to be really hard to spot them, even with Sally's sensor suite.
Yes, sir.
I'll be in my ready room.
I
You're at the bridge.
instruct the science officer who took over my station to start intervals of ionization scans
Okay.
every 15 minutes.
All right. Sally Ride basically becomes. You basically start dropping sonar pings out in space to see if you're spotting anybody coming up on you. And we'll cut away for the moment. Coming out of warp, you guys see outside the window of the shuttle a Class K planet that looks like it is a giant chunk of ice in space. It is a big white ball with a cloudy atmosphere. Judging from your initial readings of what you saw on the Sally Ride, Kanjis II is in fact a Class K planet, a bit warmer than you expected to find it, but still minus 200 degrees Celsius, so don't go outside.
Kanjis II is a planet like this is a shuttle.
Yeah. You do detect a settlement, though, an enclosed environmental settlement, and fluctuating power signals coming from the settlement. Lots of life form signs. You guys are picking up about 3... you are detecting approximately... actually, if you want to roll for this, maybe this is a good way to generate some momentum as well. So I'll make this a difficulty 0. Or no, I'll make it a difficulty 1. You are cutting through a lot of environmental interference here. So go ahead and make your roll. Difficulty is 1. And the scan is going to be... this is going to be reason and science.
15, what have you got?
Yeah, you roll that. The doctor's scanning. I'm busy flying. Right?
Okay.
You scan for that, Doc.
See who's down there.
Check the snow globe.
Difficulty 1, you said?
Yeah, I'm going to roll for the shuttle. So I got the stats here.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
Yep.
I
I
is it
got
worth
the stats.
spending one? I've only got target 15.
Apparently it's sensors.
I think so, because we'll
butts.
probably build momentum. Difficulty 1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
Okay, this is a shuttlecraft. So, sorry if I'm leaning out of frame. I do that all the time. Oh, okay. All right, go ahead and make the roll. Difficulty 1.
Alright.
Good shot.
2 successes.
2 successes here as well.
Ooh.
4
Good thing we
successes.
took
That should
shuttle
max you
efforts.
guys out on momentum.
3 momentum.
Actually, I don't need to spend anything to use my cautious talent. No, that's only for medicine. Never mind.
You've succeeded, and you get
Yeah.
your momentum. Yeah, you're
No,
good.
we're maxed out anyway.
Okay. Yes, indeed. There are, in fact, 331 Klingon life forms on this planet.
Only Klingons?
No, not only Klingons. You're also detecting...
Maybe I should have let you talk.
With that many successes, you're also detecting 2 human life forms, 1 Andorian life form. No, I'm sorry, 3 human life forms and 1 Andorian.
Did it say in the records what the initial size of that team was?
Yes.
How many people used to be on that Federation team?
4 humans, 1 Andorian, and no, I'm sorry. Let's see. Let me count this up. 1. There were 6 total on the team. All were human except for the Andorian.
So
You
2
are-
human signals have disappeared.
No, 1. I'm sorry. 1 human signal has disappeared.
So
So there's 4 humans.
4 humans?
4
That's
humans
correct.
and 1 Endorian.
That's correct.
Was what
I
they
had to work
started
through
with.
that. What's that?
That was what they started with.
They started with a total of
5 humans.
5 humans and 1 Andorian.
No,
And
we
there
have-
are now 4 humans.
4 humans and 1 Andorian.
Oh,
Okay.
gotcha.
Math is hard Mondays, man. Mathy Mondays.
It's like that scene in Clue. 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Flames. Math on the side of my
Plus 1
face.
plus 1. And that is what you detect. Also, the atmosphere does not look very... This is not going to be an easy ride, Sage. Going down to the atmosphere, this is going to be bumpy. It looks like the wind shears reach up to about 2 to nearly 300 miles per hour in the upper atmosphere.
Okay.
When you get to the lower atmosphere, they die down considerably.
Okay. I guess we're going in. Commander,
go.
are we going in? We're going in.
All right, Sage.
If anyone can fly us in,
Let's
it's
get
you.
some piloting here.
Here we go.
So the difficulty flying into the atmosphere is going to be 3, but the complication range is going to start at 2.
Okay, I will do this.
So
Small
18,
craft
18 or higher is a complication.
I have a focus in small craft, so I will be using that.
All right. Show us what she can do.
Should I burn another and get 4? If it's a difficulty of 3.
Difficulty of 3?
Because that might be.
I think that's
So 2 more.
perfectly acceptable. We've been
Just
doing-
one more dice. Because
Yeah. 2
correct.
more
Yeah.
momentum.
All right. Okay, and what am I using? Control con, I'm assuming?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go for a ride.
Difficulty 3.
No, we're not on the ride.
complication
We're on a dump shuttle.
Okay.
So many feelings.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes and 1 complication.
Okay.
But wait.
There's more.
No, that's good.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
right,
Okay,
so we're
but
stacked
that
back
means
up.
we get our momentum back.
And we get some bonus momentum that we could conceivably spend immediately depending on the circumstance.
Well, difficulty was 3, and I got 5.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So
So I only got
So yeah,
2.
then we're 2 down.
But still, cool.
Okay.
Excellent. Well done.
So complication is this. As you guys enter the atmosphere, you're able to turn the shuttle into the proper direction for the wind shears to actually compensate for the fight you have in store for you. Because
Piece of cake.
Orion shuttles are not designed to be very aerodynamic.
Oh,
They're kind of flat on both ends. This thing, even though it's big enough to accommodate everybody, the Orion shuttle, the way it's designed, almost looks like a chambered Nautilus in that regard. So it's kind of spiraled up and a little flatter than most Federation shuttles. Its storage capacity is mostly lengthwise. So as you bank into the atmosphere and break through the stratosphere, the shuttle immediately lurches. And the inertial dampeners on this shuttle are not really as good as Starfleet's. So the moment you guys hit Atmo, it's kind of like that scene in Aliens in the dropship, where all of a sudden the entire shuttle begins to rattle violently. Shishiros, you have to grab hold instinctively of one of the sides of the bulkheads. You grab a strap that's just hanging out of one of the sides and just holding onto it. All of y'all are being tossed about pretty heavily.
Not my flying. Not
Nope.
my flying. Not my fault.
I'm
I
going
like
to...
mom hand with my crutch.
Soccer mom, the soccer mom thing. Soccer mom arm.
Soccer mom.
Yeah.
Soccer momming it.
I do that even when no one's there. I'm like, oh, there's no one there.
The shuttle rattles violently, and you guys, I am going to actually...
Don't do it.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
Nope.
Oh.
Nobody takes any damage.
Oh.
I was going to throw some challenge dice at you there, but you guys actually managed to do the Star Trek shimmy and not smash into anything. As you guys leave that upper atmosphere, it's the shift is instant. It's and then it's smooth flying. The wind current immediately just smooths out, and you're hearing clacking sounds all over the windshields of the shuttle outside.
Right.
You're seeing shards of ice collide with the window, just shattering. And through the haze, as you're descending, you see what looks like a large, I would say, a circular-like dome environmental pod. Sort of. It looks like from at this altitude through the fog, it almost looks like a couple of rings, like a habitat filled, like an old Earth-style habitat, filled with inners and outer rings going all the way out. They all look interconnected, spider webbing out, with a dome in the center. Although the dome is not translucent like you might think, it's actually a metal dome going up to the top. You do see the telltale signs of the Klingon Empire symbol planted solidly for anybody to see from any high altitude on top of one of the domes. And it looks like it has, just as y'all are descending upon it, you can see a fluctuating lights, safety lights and whatnot. And from here, you actually hear, "Shuttle, come in. Identify yourself."
All the ice. This just puts a whole new meaning to hailing frequencies. No? Okay, I'll just turn the button on.
Yeah.
That was a Darren DePaul level pun.
I'm just trying to break the mood. Hailing frequency open, Commander.
Alright. This is the Federation shuttle Zazra. We're responding to a distress call.
Zazrit? What is your affiliation?
This is the Federation shuttle Zazrit. We're responding to a distress call.
Come in, you're breaking up.
Can you do anything to boost the signal?
Can I?
You can try.
All right. What do I need to do?
This is going to be this will be a control plus con roll.
Okay. Difficulty.
Difficulty is going to be 2.
Me.
Yo, we need a better name like yesterday.
We took a momentum.
Does my focus come in? Oh, it doesn't matter. But it's 3 successes. So.
Okay, so you get that momentum back. You fight through the interference. There's a lot of unusual interference here.
Okay.
You're not sure what it is that's making the signal difficult to get out, but you're starting to understand why it is that they were only sending a text-based message through subspace. Anything that's vocal or even image, the data is getting lost. It's what's scrambling the sensors. You managed to compensate, and after a few moments, you can clearly hear what is obviously a Klingon on the other side saying, "Come in. I've lost you. Are you there? Zazrit, come in."
It should be easier to get through now, Commander.
All right. Kanjis II. Are we cleared for landing? What's the situation there?
Did you say you were Federation?
Yes.
Yes, you are cleared for landing. Shuttle Bay 1.
All right. Take us in, Sage.
You receive the pinging on the flight plan and are able to follow it down. As y'all go low to the ground, you see this planet, obviously, the temperatures on this planet have reached such a low that it is raining sheets of jagged ice, and the snow, it looks like this planet has frozen over a second time. You see like an eerily beautiful landscape. It just looks like molded glass. You've seen things very similar to this back on Andoria, but these temperatures are extreme. No biological life form could survive exposure for more than a few seconds out in this level of temperature. And the shuttle slides into the shuttle bay, and you see the doors closing behind you. And they come to a stop as the shuttle settles down. And you see life support saying the temperature outside is regulated. It is a chilly 37 degrees outside the shuttle. Fahrenheit.
I don't like
To give
that.
us American people
You all
a
might
sense,
want
because we're
That's like 2 to 4 or so Celsius.
something. I'm terrible at converting it.
Doesn't matter.
It's very close to freezing point.
Yes,
So
it's very
easy.
cold.
I'm cold.
Yeah, it's chilly outside. On the other hand, Throlo, you're like, huh.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, you're like, oh, this is gonna feel kind of familiar. Like a Vulcan in a sauna.
Vulcans are crazy.
All right. The shuttle door sliding open.
All right, let's see how we can help.
As y'all are exiting the shuttle, you see on a catwalk about 20 feet away, and only about 15 feet up, a door open and an old Klingon shuffling out in robes. And right behind him is a Federation officer in the blue garb of a science officer.
I know who that is.
Guess what? I'm excited.
Xander is excited, everybody. Yes, we have the library bards tonight. The entire band is here.
It's weird being on the right side.
I know, right?
It's like, oh, did you
They do. It's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
We're
just
contractually obligated to do the jazz
hand.
hands.
I liked
Yeah.
it.
Whenever the name is said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in our blood now. Turn it off.
Nice.
Lieutenant, it's a miraculous thing to see Federation officers stepping off of this shuttlecraft, which is clearly Orion. This is clearly an Orion
confusing.
shuttlecraft. There was a moment upon spotting it that you were like, we're being raided. Like, there was a moment of like, what? And then seeing them step off. The old Klingon next to you, he just says, he is so old that he's always had a little trouble walking at this point. So with his hand on your arm, he just says, go.
Thank you, Nick.
And he leans up against the railing and just waits up there. You step down and
I'm
you
like
all
power
see,
walking.
you all see a young lieutenant running up to you. Everyone's breath is visible, by the way, in this hangar.
I'm like visibly cold and uncomfortable. Sage is not happy.
Did we bring the suits?
You know,
I'm gonna. Here's the thing. This is one of the things you can do with momentum. You can be like, I'm going to spend 2 momentum. Oh, look.
A coat.
We brought environmental suits.
Story point.
Yeah.
You can literally, it works like, remember in Doctor Who, you could spend story points to sort of alter the narrative a little bit?
It's only 37 degrees. It's not like it's unbreathable atmosphere or something. I would feel like a baby putting on a whole environmental suit just because I'm cold. I won't spend momentum on that. I'll just be uncomfortable.
On the ship for you?
Oh, I'm sure. If we needed to go out, we have them.
You can do it at any point. If you can rationalize it in the narrative, you can burn momentum and be like, I'm going to create an advantage. Look, we brought our environmental suits, guys.
I mean, our Starfleet uniform is supposed to, regulate
power,
body heat and all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
however,
to a degree, though.
Well,
no.
also
However, I'm
all
just
exposed, so,
I'm cold.
You're cold.
I'm just uncomfortable.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I'm a
though.
little more acclimated. I'll take off my jacket and hand it over to you.
Thanks, Commander.
Keep your coats on.
I hand it back because the dog is looking
if
at
anybody
me.
is going to be okay with the temperature, it's the Andorian.
Yeah, you give me your coat.
Doctor's coat over on Sage.
Thanks, Doctor.
Bundled up in like 3 different coats.
Yeah, like
All right.
None of you were made for this.
I'm sorry, did you say doctor just now? Do you have a medical doctor?
Yes, what can I do?
Thank heavens. Okay, we have a medical emergency going on. It's just one of the problems that we're dealing with here on the facility. My name is Lieutenant Tristan Paylor. Who's your commanding officer?
That'd be me.
I'm the commanding officer here on Kanjis II. We recently lost our medical doctor, and we desperately need your help. We're being ignored by the Federation. We're being ignored by the Klingons. This is a co-op facility that we created together. I'm sorry if I'm going a little fast. It's just been a very hectic time.
Talk as we walk.
All right. Directed by Dick Wolf.
Yes, please.
All right, as y'all proceed up the catwalk, there's an old grizzled Klingon covered in animal furs, in a cloak, leaning against the catwalk as y'all approach. And he just says, well, introduce me.
This is Enek. He's a Klingon representative.
More Starfleet.
I'm Commander Janiel Rue. I'm leading this team. We're here to help.
Welcome to hell.
So it froze over at last.
At last!
ooh, that was better than my hailing frequency.
Yeah.
Although there are parts of Grey Thor that do look like this, I'll know soon enough. He shuffles over to the door and hits a button, and you see the door is having trouble, and he's like, Tristan, could you...
Yeah. So we go up and Paylor to Carlson.
Carlson here.
The doors are giving us problems again. Can you please see to that?
Yes, sir.
Doors in an RPG.
Let me see what I can do. We're so taxed right now,
Sage,
Lieutenant.
can you take a
Dad,
look?
do you mind? Would you mind if I took a look? I might be able
Please be my guest. Carlson, I think we have it under control. You're doing amazing.
Thank you, sir.
I just want to get through that door because I am cold. I'll just take the panel off here.
It's not going to be much better.
You pull the panel off, and looking inside, you're like, okay, this place has not been maintained very well. Inside the panel, you see frost kind of gathering on some of the circuitry, and the computer looks like it's actually having trouble receiving power. You don't know if it's because power is not being generated or if it's just having trouble receiving it.
Okay.
But you can probably patch this up if
Okay.
you want to make a quick check.
Sure.
Okay.
What's the difficulty?
All right, Sage.
Like, where's Ren?
Ren's back on Sally.
I know.
Ren's taking care of the ride.
Between
so
Ren and I,
go
we could have
ahead.
tag teamed all over.
I know. I'm making sure the Sally Ride doesn't blow up.
I
And you
mean,
gotta
that's
set up
important.
that fake engine trouble.
Control plus
Yep.
engineering.
We'll
Okay.
be back soon to get you.
The difficulty is 2.
Got it. And why not? I'm gonna burn one of those. And focuses. Does jerry ringing and technical improv come into play?
You have technical improv as one of them. That's a pretty broad one, but yes.
Well, it's it was like jerry rigging. It's like the same thing.
Oh, it's the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like the same
Yeah,
type of.
I would say that works.
It's another way of jerry rigging.
Basically,
It's
like
another-
rerouting power
Yeah.
and such. Yeah, I'll let you
Yeah,
jerry
just
rig a
kinda
little
like-
something, like a little door open in the back here.
Lizzie, you've studied technical improv for like a couple of years now.
Elisa or Talon?
Um,
Yes.
This young Bajoran woman walks over to the door, pops open the panel, and just kind of gives it a look. She sticks her hands inside rather boldly. I mean, this is an exposed power conduit.
You're sure you know what you're doing?
She knows what she's doing.
The door opens.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
The old Klingon shuffles through.
All right, so I'm heading right for like our ops station, like where we're in command right now.
I'll meet you there. Just go and I'll meet you there. Don't
All right.
wait for an old man.
I'm Dr. Shishiros. Where are we going?
Nice to meet you. I don't really know where to begin. Okay, from the beginning, we are terraforming, or we were terraforming, and our environmental control facility has gone completely offline. We've lost power over there. We've lost communications with them. We don't know if they're okay or not. And it's been a while. It's been about a month since we've lost control. We've got slow-moving vehicles that can try to cross the terrain, but they're not meant for this, and they're not meant for this weather. And so every time we've attempted a rescue mission or a supply run, we've come back because we couldn't make it. We can't transport over there. We can't get a lock on the facility at all. We've lost communications, and now we're losing power as well. It's just a mess. And I'm sorry to bring this up, but there's actually an illness here on the station. We have it under quarantine right now with everybody that has suffered with it that we've discovered so far. But unfortunately, we lost our medical doctor and our commanding officer to this illness. We haven't been able to find out the source of it or how it spreads, but before our doctor passed, they said that it was bacterial in nature. I'm a counselor. I'm here, and I'm basically glorified resources, just managing people. I'm not cut out for this.
You're obviously doing an excellent job. Thank you for calling us. Show me the quarantine, and is there any... What's the progress of the disease? Is it life-threatening?
It's life-threatening. From what we've seen so far, someone experiences extreme dizziness and then goes into a coma and then dies. I've tried some scans and checks on by myself. From what I've put together, it seems like the bacteria changes the matter in the body to a solid state, slowly. And it's not freezing, it's not changing it into something frozen, but it's a real pickle. And it's life-threatening. A pickle. It's an earth
food
thing. I'm sorry. I'm a bit frazzled. It's a puzzle.
I love a puzzle. Let's do this. Have you devised a successful test for the bacteria in question?
I have not.
All right. I'll need a look at those who are affected. Is there anyone that you know to be infected who hasn't yet progressed all the way through?
Yes, we have several Klingons that have been infected. They're in the quarantine, and they're all in a coma.
Does it have the same effect on all of the species that...
So far, only the doctor has contracted the disease as a human. There aren't very many of us, so we're not sure, but it was fatal to the doctor. Yeah. But right now we have 12 Klingons in comas in quarantine.
How many people are trapped at the temperature regulation facility?
I forgot. I think I have it written down.
I believe there were 14.
Yes.
The environmental facility?
Yep. Oh, sorry, it's a team of 12.
12.
I did have it written
12.
down. There's a team of 12 Klingons that are over there, and it's about 10 kilometers away from this facility.
10 kilometers away. And you last saw them a month ago before the disease emerged?
Yes.
How long's the power been out?
The power has been out
Facility.
over there for a month. We have limited power, but because of the change in the atmosphere, we're losing our connection with the solar energy.
Gotcha. Do you
We're
have
basically
any
running on
backup
reserves.
sources of power?
That's what we're running on right now.
All right. I'd like to use the shuttle to try to do an evac of the environmental team. Sage, how do you feel about piloting in this weather?
I mean, I definitely feel, especially if we're just taking it from one location to the next, it'll be, smooth sailing, but going in and out of the atmosphere, I don't suggest doing multiple times. The dump shuttle won't last but a couple runs.
If possible, I would like to put the rescue of the people in the environmental facility at top priority.
The only issue is I don't think the shuttle will fit 14. I mean, we can cram them.
No, shuttle won't fit 14. Shuttle fits you guys and maybe 3 others, and that's about it.
We can sit in each other's laps. We can get creative, but I don't think it's not safe to fly the entire team back. I can do a couple runs if we want to go and see how many are.
How's the weather looking relative to doing a couple runs? Would that be too much wear and tear on the dump shuttle?
an environmental scan just from what Sage ran and what the Sally Ride detected. Yeah. Kind of putting two and two together, Sage is pretty spot on with her assessment. If you go upper atmosphere, you're looking for trouble.
If
we're just flying low,
if you're flying
do
low,
the backgrounds.
If you're flying low, you should not run into any environmental hazards based off of what you've seen.
A little snow won't hurt the shuttle.
Snow, it's more like jagged. It's not even accurate to call it hail. It's not chunks of ice. It's literally shards, like daggered ice falling out of the sky. It's not doing any physical damage to the shuttles at all.
No, we can always pop the
shields
can take care of ice.
Yeah, it's not a problem there. I mean,
yeah.
The
Space
shields on the
debris
shuttle
hits it all the time. Yeah. It's fine.
Yeah. But it does make having to go outside in an environmental suit hazardous.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start doing some ferrying runs. You can look at this disease within the facility, start figuring out what's going on there.
Have you already come up with a plan? You hear the Klingon say as he finally catches up to everybody.
We're working on it. We would appreciate your input, of course.
Glad I could help.
I'm sorry I didn't consult you first, Sinek.
It's all right, Lieutenant. I think you have things well in hand. This colony would be dead if it wasn't for you and your Federation friends.
Well, you put your fair share of effort in as well. Can you please let the team know what's happened and that we're welcoming Federation rescue?
The team?
Yes.
Your team?
My team and the Klingon team as well.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Commander, I want to get a sense of what we're looking for before I send you out to the possible second infection site. Can you show me to those Klingons?
Yes, I'll lead her to the quarantine zone.
Maybe you should take an environmental suit with you, Doctor, just in case.
Can't hurt.
Okay. You end up walking to one of the inner rings. It's a good 10-minute walk. This place is very large. These rings, these habitat rings that are spread out across like a spider web across the surface here, it's large enough to accommodate up to 1,000 Klingons if necessary. And inside these rings, they are 2 stories, much like kind of picture the inside of DS9. So it's 2 floors to each ring. So it's pretty spacious. But you do see the occasional Klingon walking about. You are getting stares, but what you notice looking at the Klingons as y'all are moving through, none of them look armed, none of them are wearing armor. A lot of them look like they're lugging around equipment or bags or tools. None of them look aggressive in any way. You're looking at a pretty interesting group. You are getting a lot of looks, as everyone realizes, but they're not angry looks. They're more of just like, what? Kind of like shocked looks to see more Federation here. As you're rounding the corner and heading towards the medical wing, you round the corner and come face to face with a jock who stops with about 8 people, 8 Klingons behind him. He's not facing you. He looks like he's looking into the inner ring of the medical facility, which has been quarantined off. Windows here are set up looking into the first area of the medical wing, where there is a series of beds and a very large medical facility. Doctor, you know for a fact Klingons are not known for their medicine. They're not known for their medical facilities or their practice. This place looks like it's been set up to make room for the Klingons that would be stationed here, but you can tell just by looking at this place that this is not going to be any exception. It's pretty sparse. And there's 2 sections to it. There's an open room where you see a couple of beds and a waiting area and an examination area that's open for all to see. And then there is the quarantine area just behind it, which is locked off. There's a couple of Klingons in the waiting area that are just sitting on one of the beds. You see one Klingon is scanning them, and a few other personnel milling about, but no one here looks like they're officers. They all looks like they're civilians or volunteers, you're not sure what. But the 8 people that have crowded around, you see an immediate reaction off the lieutenant as one of these Klingons turns and looks at all of you and says, "Brought more friends to take the colony away from us."
Listen, Najak, we're not here to take the colony away. We're trying to save as many people as possible.
I don't believe your Federation lies.
Listen, it's the Klingons that are in there that are infected, and
they weren't infected until you got here. And then you hear somebody say, "That's not true." Shut up!
Listen.
One of the Klingons in the back looks like he slinks away. And he says, he just leans in and he says, I will not let you kill us.
Listen, Dr. Panusian tried their best to help. And there's a doctor here right now. And she's not even human.
And Dorian. He growls this out. Another one.
If you know us, then you know we wear our passions on our sleeves. I need to help those people. Are you helping me or are you in my way?
I'm not blocking you, but I am watching you.
You're entitled to that. I have faith in these officers, and so should you.
And he stomps past you. A few of his entourage give you looks, you specifically. A few glance at you, but a bunch of the citizens move past you guys.
He's a peach.
Yeah, he's been trying to stir up trouble the whole time we've been here, and this set of circumstances has not made it any easier. I'm gonna tap my communicator.
Okay.
Paylor to Ensign Vendile.
You hear a woman's voice. This is Vendile.
Please meet us in the medical facility.
Oh, God, what now?
No, it's good news. Please, just come as quick as you can.
Good news.
Yes.
I'm on my way.
Can you show me Dr. Panusian's notes?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll bring everybody into the med bay.
Okay. It's sad, but rather unceremoniously, our body bags being stored off to the side here in the med bay. They're being kept in an area that looks like was probably once a storage closet.
Is there some kind of containment field?
What's that?
Is there some kind of containment field?
It looks like there is. It's a force field. Whether it's a medical containment field, you're not sure. But the storage area has been cleaned out. It has been cleaned out. The storage area on the inside, which you can easily see into, it has... it's filling up. Let's put it that way. This place looked like it was used to store very large containers of supplies. Those have all been obviously pulled out and lined up against the wall, stacked to the ceiling. And some of those were in the hallway when you passed. Not knowing what they were, you now see that they must have been medical storage components. But that closet is quite full. It doesn't take much to realize, Throlo, that the reason why, obviously you can't burn these bodies on an enclosed environment. And going outside and starting a fire, probably a little tricky too. I'll tell you right now, Lieutenant, you guys have been disposing of the bodies very slowly using an incineration process that is available here, but it's been really slow going.
Right.
More Klingons have been dying than you guys have been able to get them to the facility, and there's also the concern about what the nature of the infection is.
I'm sorry for the grim atmosphere in here. We're trying our best, and we've made some compromises with the cultures, but it's the best that we can do for now.
Any Klingon disruptors on site?
If there are, they're not supposed to be here.
I don't think so.
Anyone who might have some unauthorized ones disintegrating the bodies could be an alternative.
Well, it's also something that's been a point of contention with the religion here. Disintegrating the bodies in an unhonorable way might not go over well. It was hard enough to get them to use an incinerator.
Yeah, from what you know, Klingons don't really... Let me put it this way. This is the context of what's happening. You know from your studies in biology and cultural studies that Klingons really don't give a damn what happens to the body after it dies. But they do give a damn about a Federation officer disintegrating the corpses of their fallen.
Right.
That seems to be the point of contention here. Yeah. And so they haven't let you participate in any meaningful way whatsoever.
That's perfectly fine, but they do need to get the job done. I don't care who does it.
Especially because, I mean, I'm no medical doctor, or at least not highly trained, but it can't be good to have this many deceased corpses.
It's not ideal.
At that moment, the Klingon that you saw scanning people approaches you. I would say not middle-aged, maybe just past middle-age, entering the golden years, so to speak. Older Klingon, graying hair, braids
coming down. Man, woman,
other. What's that?
Man, woman, other.
Man. Walks over, pulling on his beard, and says, Who are these people?
Raga, these are Federation officers that have come to help us.
Are any of you a doctor?
Hello, Dr. Shishiros.
Oh, good. Hopefully you'll live longer than the last one. And he sets down...
Hope so.
He sets down this device in your hand. You read Klingon? You don't. That's fine. I have translators for you here. I've been collecting data and killing people. He presses a few buttons.
I'm also at your disposal for any translation.
Thank you. Should have practiced harder. With a little rusty.
So, Doctor, if you want to get to work, in that case, Raga says, let's give her space. If she's anything like Venusian, I want to make sure that she gets as much information as possible before she dies.
I appreciate that.
Let's clear some space.
Yes, Ensign Van Deel is also on her way down here. So
I was about to say, the door opens as you see a young auburn-haired woman walk in the door with a worried look. She looks like she probably hasn't slept in about 3 days. Her hair is tasseled and stringy around her eyes, and she's kind of brushing it aside. Clearly an engineer. She looks like her uniform has been worn down a little bit, and she's got a utility belt on her shoulders. And she walks in. Just from the weight she's putting on her feet as she stomps into the room, she's on fumes. She goes, "What do we have?"
Just a quick clarification. I think she's a scientist.
Oh, she is a scientist.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're right. I've got a very short list here.
Yeah.
She walks in with the utility belt.
Or we'll have to bring in around.
Yeah.
She has a utility belt around. She looks exactly the same. Just change the color from yellow to blue.
Yep.
Looks exactly the same as she walks into the room.
Right. Thank you for coming, Zoe. I'm so sorry to pull you away. I know you've been crazy busy.
She smiles and she goes, "I'm really happy to see you all. Commander, are you here to get us out of here?"
We're here to see what we can do, see if we can save as many lives as possible, and evac if necessary.
Well,
You need a nap.
yes.
Dr. Shishiros, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Dr. Shishiros has requested to look over Dr. Panusian's notes, and I know you're the only one that can make heads or tails of it.
I can tell you what I've learned, but I'm not a medical doctor.
Well, we'll make a good team then.
Yeah, it's right this way. I'll take you to his quarters. It's where he kept everything.
I want to work on a solve if I can, but my first priority is to get you all a test before we send you out to those stranded people.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Well, do you need me to answer any questions right now? I can certainly help you with at least a preliminary glance at what it is we're dealing with.
Have you discovered a reliable test for infection?
No. The only indication we get that anything is wrong is that people come down with waves of dizziness, and within a few hours they slip into a coma and don't wake up.
How did Dr. Panusian determine that it was bacterial?
He was running scans, and
Okay.
he had successfully completed multiple patient diagnoses and autopsies before he contracted the disease himself.
I need to see those scans.
Right this way. I've also preserved his body too, if you want to look at it.
Okay.
You see, she just rubs her head. She says, "Don't worry. It's just because I haven't slept." This way. And she
Debrief
leads.
her, and then we're sending her to sleep. I'm not the medical officer, but I think it's harder to fight infection on low sleep.
You're not wrong, Commander.
Let's not put you at any more risk than you need to be.
Thank you.
All right, make snappy.
She walks out with you in tow.
Be right back.
I'm actually going to follow along with, just
Okay.
in case you want to devise a test. I can help with that.
Fantastic.
Huh?
Fantastic.
All right, we're gonna cut back to the Sally Ride. Talon, I need you to make a reason plus science roll,
Oh no. Oh, I'm
and I
so
need the Sally
terrible
Ride
at
to roll
both
as
of
well.
those things.
What's that?
I'm so
Okay.
terrible at both of those things. Just kidding. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 5.
Yeah, see, I spoke way too soon. Can I burn a bunch?
Yeah. And also,
Sorry,
are
y'all.
you
Can I
assisting?
assist?
Go one of
Yeah.
these.
Yes,
what is
absolutely.
this for?
Thank you.
The Sally Ride can
So,
assist.
taking
You
3
are
down.
not
Okay,
2
assisting
dice from
just
that.
yet.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not what?
I'm not gonna say you're not assisting.
Okay.
It's just the Sally Ride.
Okay.
Here's
Alright.
the
Sally Ride.
difficulty is 5,
Okay.
and the complication range is 3.
Ooh. Yikes. Okay. Will I know what talents I might be able to use?
This is a sensor's reading.
Okay, so difficulty's down by 1.
Yep. So okay,
We're
so
down
4.
to 4. We've not been doing that.
No, I've been doing it for you.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, I've been keeping track of it.
Oh, so was it 6 to 5?
No, this time I didn't do it.
Okay,
You
good,
reminded
'cause
me
that's
this time, but I've been
Yeah,
I've got
that's
it
a
written down
high
and making sure to
difficulty.
reduce the difficulty
Okay.
for you guys.
Much appreciated.
So,
So sensors,
What are
science?
your talents?
Sensors, yes, sensor science. This is a scan.
My talents are astrophysics, mythology, exoarchaeology, exoanthropology, xenobiology, stellar environmental anthropology, and innovation with tools.
So those
Wouldn't
are
it be demented if I was like, use your mythology?
Oh.
What's happening?
What's happening?
those are your focuses,
A
right?
big face appears in the sky.
Yeah.
Do you have cautious or studious?
I have studious.
None of those focuses are going to apply here.
Okay. Goodness.
Why make things easy?
We can do this.
All right. Is anyone? We're not using the ship.
Only
Yeah, you-
barely
Ship is gonna
mathematically
help.
possible
Okay,
if literally everything succeeds.
You are.
Unless you blow the daily on this.
Oh.
Okay. Can I?
Do you have a value that you could do determination for the auto crit?
But I don't know. I have no idea what I'm even rolling for.
That's correct.
No,
So-
but this difficulty is also bonkers.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I think.
Well,
Yeah, just go for it.
Are we
right?
just rolling an impossible
Yeah,
roll?
let's just go
Okay,
for it.
fine.
It might not be
Oh, yeah.
impossible. It's not impossible.
Floor dice don't count.
Okay.
Nice to
Do you want to
unless it's a
So far I have
success,
3
then
successes.
Here, do you want to roll
I have
this?
definitely
here,
rolled
I
really good floor dice, and then they don't count. 'Cause that's life.
I didn't even look. Okay. All right. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 success and 1 complication.
And a crit from Sally.
Yeah.
So
So
6 successes.
6 successes.
We did it?
And a
Whoa.
complication.
Okay.
So 1 momentum.
Yeah.
So we got 2 momentum.
I thought
So we
1.
rolled
Five.
6 on a 5.
Oh, 4. 4. 4. 4.
Because it went down because of Sally's
Yeah.
answers.
Okay, good.
So
Let me get you.
It's there for a fraction of a second. It's there and it's gone. For a split second, sensors detected a scout class vessel roughly 20 light years from your location. And it's gone. You were not able to get a reading on what it was.
How far away?
About 20 light years. Would you like to spend momentum to ask questions?
20
One
light
gets
years.
2.
Yeah.
when
Actually, I don't have to spend momentum, right? Because I
think you get one for
science
free, don't
officer,
you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Twitter
Yeah.
Twitter friends, for reminding me of that.
That's the brilliant thing about learning a new RPG system with the community is everyone just totally is like, hey guys, this is how you can make Talon even more badass.
Yeah, I'd like to know, can we detect how fast and how fast
You
and
can't-
which direction are they traveling?
I won't tell you how fast it was moving, except that it was at warp.
And do we have a heading?
No. The blip was so fast. It was detected by Sally
Alright.
in a moment, and then it was gone. But, Talon,
you're gonna need those later.
20 light years is close enough to Sally Ride's sensor system that you should have been able to detect what kind of vessel it was, how fast it was moving, and what its general location was.
Bridge to engineering.
Jiv here.
Jiv, I will need you and Ren to prepare for visitors. We need to appear as if we are stalled here in space for engineering reasons. Are you able to do that?
There's a pause, and it's like, you want me to make the Sally look like she can't move?
Yes. Will that be a problem?
It's kind of insulting, but yeah, I could do it.
Rin gets to break things.
Well, all right.
Oh, this trick.
We need this done as soon as possible.
All right. I'll let you know how it goes. I'm on it. Ren, you're
Was
calling
I
out
standing
of...
next to you for that?
Next to Jiv.
Okay. Okay, I'll just head down now.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, I'm sorry, you're on the bridge. I forgot. I'm
It's okay.
so sorry.
No, it's okay. Ren, yeah. So
I like
just,
that. I
assumed you
I
were
heard you
down
say mine,
there.
and I
No,
was like,
just for clarification,
Yeah.
Ren just
Hi.
got the op station
That's
on the
right.
bridge.
Yeah.
I actually
Okay.
love that because we're not used to.
no, you're not used
Yeah.
to it. No,
Yeah.
it 100% happened that way. I just turned around and I was like, oh, me, should I?
Okay.
Okay, I can go. I can go now. Am I dismissed? Okay.
Right when you hear that, you hear your communicator goes off and goes, Ren, where
I
are
know
you?
I'm coming.
Talon's just an asshole.
You just jog to the turbo lift.
I only
Talon's
speak
just
in rank. There's someone higher rank than you in your department. I don't speak to you.
Okay.
As you enter engineering, you step in, and Jiv is in one of the chairs that kind of rolls. You know how you always see Jordy just rolling across the floor when he's doing his doctor thing.
Tell me more about chairs that roll.
It wouldn't interest you. So he is sitting there at one of the computer consoles, and he's just going over, and he goes, and as you walk in, he goes, she wants me to make one of the most pristine ships in the galaxy look like she can't fly. Who's gonna buy that?
I mean, probably them.
The Klingons are stupid. He puts down the pad and says, all right, so we need to come up with a way to fake some kind of, I don't know, maybe it could be something simple. Maybe they could be just, a transference issue in the dilithium core matrix. Maybe there's a problem with one of the...
We could just send out a simple distress call. Make it a fake, if they scan the ship, just systems down.
Yeah, but what if you're playing possum when it's... I mean, you send out a distress call, everyone's going to hear it, right?
Just a localized one.
But then they're not going to believe that. Who sends out
We're
a
above
localized?
a planet.
What?
We're above. We're near a planet. We could be...
Did you tell that to the commander?
I just ran down here as fast as I could, honestly.
Well, it looks like we're doing it her way then. He gets up. But listen, Chief, seriously. Don't be afraid to speak up. You got great ideas.
I know you know that.
Well, I'm the only one that knows it because I'm the only one you're talking to. I know the bridge crew can be a little intimidating. You got Commander Rue and then you've got Miss Personality. But the Vulcan. I'm making fun of the Vulcan. You got that right?
I gathered.
Don't get me wrong, I like Talon. Talon's okay. But
That's
You gotta-
almost Talon level shade.
but you gotta... Talon's good at listening to ideas. You know? You like hearing them. She'll hear anything you gotta say. So just put yourself out there. And Martinez, too. Captain's really good at listening to folks.
Okay. Do you want me to go tell her? Or should I run back up there?
Get to work.
Okay.
You and Jiv begin to move over to the console and start coming up with a way to make the Sally look like she's choking on herself. Back up on the bridge,
Shoot something.
Martinez steps out of the ready room and says, report.
Who said that?
Martinez, Captain steps out of his ready room and says, what's the report, Commander?
Captain, I very briefly detected a... What was the class?
Scout-class vessel.
Scout-class vessel. Approximately 20 light years away.
Did you have a heading?
Do not have a heading. All I know is that they were at warp. I've instructed engineering to begin falsifying some type of issue with the engines, so that if we are visited upon, then we can tell them that is why.
Could
we are
we
here.
possibly... Sally Ride sensors. We can see farther than most starships.
Yes, sir.
So it's possible we spotted them before they spotted us.
Yes, sir.
Is it possible to Is it possible to reduce our power signature? To maybe appear... Maybe not show up as much on, like, the sensors? Perhaps?
Yes, and if they do detect us and visit us, then that could also help explain why we are stalled in space.
Did you put Jiv on that?
I will.
All right, keep me informed.
Yes, sir.
We are going to cut back to the icy world that layeth below.
Meantime, I've instructed them to get the bodies in one place, preferably an empty, contained, like a storage unit that is close to the deep freeze with some kind of legitimate force field.
Okay, you've actually managed to organize the Klingons into establishing a reasonable storage space for the corpses. Go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and give you a check here. Go ahead and make a reason medicine roll.
Okay.
Get that
And
cautious.
what are your focuses? What focuses might apply here?
Infectious diseases.
Infectious diseases.
That's a good
Right,
one.
roll.
Skip to that one.
You kind of got a focus that applies here. So go ahead and make a
And
roll.
then, if possible, I'd like to assist as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a talent called Testing a Theory. If it's a engineering or science role, I get a +1 d20 to assisting if I've attempted a similar research before.
Yes, you have. Yes, you may.
I've got a theory.
I got a theory. We'll get to it if we see any more of
I
that.
have a theory.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
Okay, the difficulty here is 3.
Okay.
Lots of challenging rolls tonight.
Wait. Is this Andrew's first roll?
It's my first roll.
Oh my god, everybody, Xander's first roll.
Sorry, just had to. like the proud mama.
Mom is so proud.
What?
So,
I?
so which should I use for my assisting?
In your case, you are going to use your. Let's see, you're helping here. I'm gonna say your insight and your. I'll say your insight and your medicine.
Okay.
You want to use science though, if you can, right?
He's
No,
going to
I'm
use his insight and
medicine.
medicine. His
Okay.
assist roll is not going to be a science. It's not going to be a science check.
Okay. As long as that cool talent applies.
Is he really powerful?
Oh wait. It's science and medicine, or is it what does that talent give you?
Oh yeah, if it's a science or engineering.
Engineering roll. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'll let you do science.
Role. Okay.
Because just explain to me how it is you're helping the doctor. You basically helping translate data.
Well, I've tried to do something similar to this before by creating a test, so I can assist with the data that I've accumulated with that test.
Okay.
And so if she's sitting there trying to like, oh well, if I do this, then this happens.
Okay.
I'm like, I've tried that before.
Yeah.
Let's move forward.
Just
with
narratively
this.
describing to me how it is that science is applying to a medicine check, and I'm down with it.
Sure,
So
yeah.
if that's what you're doing, then cool.
Yeah.
So I'll let you use that then.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your rolls. The difficulty is 3. And Chasiros is leading the roll.
Sorry, I get really animated and excited.
Did you succeed, Lisa?
5 over here.
2 over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woo!
So gain your momentum.
I think
Doctor-
that maxes us out.
Running the scans, doctor, and looking at the data. He's,
Oh, you tried that? Oh!
Yeah, this will save you some time.
He actually does save you considerable amount of time. You skip looking for the usual signs of bacterial infection and jump straight to out-of-the-box thinking, and find, sure enough, the doctor's entire circulatory system has been solidified. All of the protoplasm, the blood, the cells, everything in his body that runs through his veins has become solid.
What kind of solidification process are we talking about if it's not temperature based?
It's not temperature based. In fact, it doesn't even look like it doesn't look like everything froze up or congealed. It looks like the cells and the plasma itself, everything fused into just one solid biological hardening element. It looks like everything inside the vessels of the body just solidified into one hard organic substance. It's still made up of the same material and same genetic material and bioorganic material.
Is it some
but-
sort of like calcification?
Yeah, what could
Very
cause
similar-
to reorganize its matrix that way? Like,
There's no immediate root cause, but you are detecting traces of bacteria that he described. The bacteria does not show up on any Federation database as you're looking at it through the tricorder.
but I've got the shape of it now.
Yes.
So
As
I
you're
means I
bringing
can
it
look
up,
for
you're
it.
looking at the genetic structure of this bacteria. It's going to take some time to pick this apart, but as you're looking at it, once again, you have encountered a new life form. This bacteria has never been recorded before and looks completely different. Doesn't look like it functions like any other bacteria you've encountered or researched. But one thing is for sure, if these patients hadn't been in a coma, this would have been an incredibly painful way to die.
But now that I know what it looks for, it looks like I can test
You can
for
spot for it, yes. The test would be pretty simple. It is going to require blood extraction.
it. Why?
Why is it going to require blood extraction? Because a simple scan is not going to do the trick with this bacteria. It's only you're only able to detect it when you actually biopsy a part of the doctor's skin.
I need to devise a larger scale scan.
Now, just so you know, you can actually detect blood by simply applying one of your, the sprays that you use.
I need to know whether I'm exposing my crew before I send them into a facility.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a suit. I don't know about you guys. I'm putting my environmental suit on. This is terrifying.
But in this time, you've come up with, it's a simple matter of just detecting it. You can't scan for this. You have to literally just run a quick blood scan.
All right, well, I'll start with Ensign Bendiel.
Okay. Go ahead and you now have the data that you need, so the difficulty is going to be reduced significantly. So I'm going to say make a reason medicine check, as per usual, and you can apply your focus here.
Here's the difficulty.
The difficulty is 2.
1, please.
Woo!
1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
Okay.
So that fills us up, and we get 1 bonus, I guess, question.
Okay.
How's
So
Ensign Bendiel?
what do you want to know?
Well,
How is she? She's not infected.
fantastic. I can't think of anything to spend the extra momentum on.
White cell count would indicate she's probably suffering from severe stress. Her white cell count is down. Probably from staying up a lot and not sleeping.
Well,
She is not infected.
Ensign Bendiel, I'm pleased to inform you have an acute case of needs more rest.
Yeah.
Our doctor enforces a lot of naps.
Thank you so much for your help, Zoe. Please get some rest.
Sure. Please wake me up if you need anything.
I will.
She gets up and moves out of the...
Doctor,
Silly.
if you could please test me. Thank you.
Make a roll. Same difficulty. Same...
Cosplay's not consent.
Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
Gotta start spending these extra momentum.
She's doing some crits over here.
Eric, can I make a reason medicine check?
Would you like to? What are you doing for?
To transfer player theory to character theory?
That will depend.
Yeah. I don't think I'm good. I don't think I'm gonna make it.
I appreciate like crazy that you're asking to do that instead of just flat out metagaming this because you're a good player, Sam. So I'm just gonna come over and listen to what you've got to say. Whispers.
Ooh. But wait, I don't know if I have the disease or not.
Suspenseful.
It went to commercial break. You have to wait.
Oh gosh! Oh no!
Dun dun dun.
And I die.
Oh man.
No.
The end.
So I'd have to roll to see if Rue would have that.
Okay. Yes, I'll let you roll to see if... I would say through all the things that Rue has been through that you've probably picked up
I mean,
a few...
people have random knowledge. This is a piece of random,
Well, I tell you what.
idea.
I tell you what.
Yeah.
If you're willing to spend 2 momentum, I'll give it to you as an advantage.
Nope.
Oh.
Not worth it. My theories as a person are not worth that.
Then I'm going to say you can't roll for it.
All right.
But I also wanted to
That's
say
fine.
that because we were working together so much that we probably said everything that out loud that's within earshot.
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's just that
Right.
Rue does not know Rue has a 2 in medicine.
Got it.
So
Sam, on the other
more
hand,
than 0.
has got a 1 in medicine, or 1 with the focus.
I've got a no. I just have the occasional Sam fact.
Okay, Sam Facts. And the new show on Geek and Sundry.
We keep pitching it.
I would watch that.
Right after Sam loses their shit.
And stay tuned for after Sam loses their shit for Sam Facts.
Double Sam.
Oh no!
Followed by Sam disappears behind the table. It's an all Sam Monday.
Welcome to Samter Day.
Okay. All right. So you were scanning to see if Xander's dying.
Yeah, thanks.
Go ahead and
Yeah.
make your. Did you already make your roll?
We did. We got 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay. So you generate that momentum. The lieutenant is not infected.
Good job. What about
How
me?
am I, Doc?
I'm nervous.
Tristan Paylor is not infected.
And it's Peylore.
Yes.
Dang you, Gygax.
What was it again?
I don't know what you're talking about. This
Right.
last name wasn't conceived on anything but an original thought.
Peylore.
Damn you,
Paylor.
guys.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's because of his sunny disposition.
There may, yeah.
Halo.
There may be. There's a strange cult of Klingons that's built a church for you in the lower part of this with the sun. You don't know what
Right?
the
It's
hell
weird.
they're all about. You just don't. You just leave it out
I
of
just keep
reports.
rolling dice and.
All right. Yeah, he's not infected. The lieutenant seems like he is clean as a whistle.
You have an acute case of helpfulness.
Oh, good. Thank you.
There's no cure.
Sorry.
Braga, who's listening to this, just goes, "What?" You scan him. Make the roll. He just goes "Ugh," and looks down at his wrist where you just popped him one.
Only 3 successes.
That's all you needed.
It's 2, right?
Then no.
It was a difficulty 2.
Yes, because you identified it, so you get that one back. He is not infected. Braga is clean.
So far, so good.
Good to know. Raga, can you watch the doctor's methods and perhaps can you teach some of the staff here so that we can expedite the process?
If it's a blood test, that's easy enough. I could do that.
Fantastic.
Right. Let me just get my tools.
Commander?
You hear the communication go off. This is a neck to Tristan Paylor.
Paylor here.
Tristan, Jacques is headed your way. He's got more of his friends. Things
Understood.
are getting a little out of control. We might need to give them something to direct their aggression towards.
Well, we have some more good news, Inek. We found a way to detect the disease. You can start spreading the news.
I'll let the colony know.
Paylor out.
Almost as if on cue.
Oh no.
You all hear loud footsteps coming down the hallway as a crowd of Klingons.
How many?
More than 10?
Okay.
Looks like more than 10. They all begin to congregate outside the medical facility and start making some noise.
I hear the noise and subconsciously, without even thinking, step behind Rue. Don't even consciously know it. I'm just like, what's happening? Why am I walking?
There's a crowd of Klingons gathering outside. They look angry. But they're not coming in.
All right. Commander, we've brokered a small peace and we've tried to maintain it since we've all had to live in this facility together. But I'm afraid that there seems to be some sort of mutiny happening and it's coming to a head. So I would ask that you try not to resort to violence in my facility. This seems like great news. We're doing great work here and I'm convinced that we can help Jacques and his men to see that this is happening.
Perhaps you would care to accompany me as we talk to them and see if we can't keep temperatures low.
Let's do it.
Okay. We're going to cut away for a second as you all both head for the door. Talon,
Yes.
I need you to make another sensors check.
Sensors this time.
It was sensors last time.
Yeah, with sensors.
Is this
But not
sensors?
with
Tell
the
the
ship.
ideas.
Huh?
Yeah.
What's that?
I mean,
But you said it
told
wasn't
them
with the
like-
ship last time?
It was reason with science. It was reason science, and Sally Ride was scanning. She was helping.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Where's
okay.
my brain? Okay.
Difficulty 5, complication range 3.
How long has it been since the last scan?
I'd say it's been about an hour.
Thank you.
So, okay.
And I can't help with this.
Complication
yet.
range was
Not
3.
but I have ideas about this specific thing.
Well,
that we're
I
studying.
have 3 successes
Let's
and
see how
1.
this-
Huh?
What was it?
3 success, 1 complication.
Okay.
But can I
Complication from Sally.
All right,
no.
I can re-roll, right?
Yeah.
Because we had,
Oh yeah.
I can re-roll.
All right, including the ship's die.
Yeah, but only 1.
Only one. Okay.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
doesn't matter. One complication or no.
Well, 3 successes. I have
Okay.
3 16s.
Whoa.
It's so weird.
So
It's
how many
just-
complications? Just one?
1.
Just
yeah.
one. Okay.
And 4 successes.
Pile up on that threat.
So 4 successes?
Yeah, 4 success.
So we got one
It's
momentum back?
eerie. No, you didn't
So we
succeed.
didn't succeed, yeah.
Oh, it was 5.
Yeah.
It's eerily quiet out there now. No sign of that scout class vessel.
But we only need 3.
What's up?
We were doing the sensors calculation.
Right.
We only got 3 out of 4.
Right.
So.
it's eerily quiet on the sensors.
Wait, I'm sorry.
What's up?
The difficulty was 5.
Yeah.
Difficulty
Down
was
to
5.
4, or
It was down to 4. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, it was down to 4. I forgot again.
oh, so
it's down
we
to
did
4.
succeed.
Oh, so you
But
did.
we got a company.
Okay, sorry. Let's retcon
Sorry,
that.
sorry,
Everyone
sorry.
on chat is like,
Alright.
no, they
Sorry,
succeeded.
sorry.
So the difficulty was 5. It was reduced to 4 because Sally Ride is Sally Ride.
Right,
And
okay.
you rolled a total of 4 successes.
4 success, 1 complication.
and 1 complication.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not going to take that extra threat. And instead, the complication is, once again, you detect a blip.
Okay.
And it's there and it's gone in a second. Scout class vessel,
Distance.
10 light years away.
All right. Well, Captain.
Traveling at warp 7.
Oh, okay. Traveling at warp.
If you would like to spend momentum, you can ask another question. You get actually 1 for free, correct? Would you like to know something else? Definitely use that in all possible opportunity.
Can we get a heading? Do you
Yes.
know what
I'll
is
give you
their
a
heading?
It's headed directly towards you.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's on. Yep, its heading is USS Sally
I was
Ride.
hoping maybe like there's something on the other side of us, and we're just gonna be like, there they
It's
go,
possible.
bye.
It is a safe travel corridor through the Klingon Empire,
don't
but
believe it.
only authorized vessels are allowed
I
through
don't
here.
believe that.
However, it's becoming rather suspicious that it keeps vanishing from your sensor sweeps.
So they're yes. So
At
they're
only 10 light years away, whatever it is should definitely be detectable.
yes. All right.
Okay, and in that case, I'm going to roll for Jiv, because down in engineering, he and the chief have devised a way, hopefully, to make the Sally look like she's limping through space. And
Actually, I want to change that, Jiv.
what do you want to do?
It might not be the best idea to give the impression that a Federation ship is dead in the water in Klingon space.
Well, Jiv kind of threw his hands up and goes, eh.
It
Wait.
just makes me a little uncomfortable, obviously.
Well, now you see why I was irritated, but the commander gave an order.
I know, and I want to follow that order, but also,
But also,
maybe, at least for now, if this... Do we know that the ship is getting closer?
not unless she's told you.
Okay, well, then, as long as it's... Okay, so all we want to do is make... No one's come to this planet for help, so as long as this... people are ignoring their signal. So maybe we can just boost their signal off of our ship. If someone were to pass by, they just see that single signature, ignore it, and pass us by. As long as they don't detect that we're a dead Federation ship, that might be worth investigating.
So why are you telling me?
Okay.
He gets on his communicator.
me to
Here,
tell my ideas,
chirping
okay?
noise. Captain Martinez, this is Jiv. Here, go ahead, Jiv. The chief here has come up with some interesting thoughts about one way we might avoid the incoming whatever it is.
And I walk into the ready room during this conversation.
Okay.
So I overhear.
Cool.
that. Yeah.
I think it's worth listening to if you've got a moment. Martinez looks at you.
I am not aware of what is happening in this conversation, but I have some updates to report.
All right, Jiv, you and the chief come on up. I want to hear what you have to say, and we've got an update of what's happening. Roger that. Jiv out. Hey, let me give you some tips before you go and talk to the senior staff.
Oh,
Whatever
I
you
am
do,
a senior staff.
the rest of the senior staff, whatever you do, never use the words, I know I have orders, but in a sentence in front of the senior staff.
Okay,
Other than that, you did great.
what should I say instead?
Everything you said to me, just leave out that part.
Okay. Got it.
Got it. Let's go. All right, don't get too far ahead of me. I don't walk as fast as you. Moments later, the doors open and Jiv and the chief walk into the room. Martinez swivels in his chair behind the desk and says, all right, let's hear your report first.
We have another detection from 10 light years away of the Scout-class vessel. We are not picking it up on scans except for a brief fraction of a second.
So there's a high probability it's a cloaked Klingon ship.
Yes, and it is heading towards us.
Do we have any long-range tachyon scanners?
Well, not equipped on the Sally Ride,
Okay.
but we can use tachyon pulses to try to detect cloaked vessels. It's worth noting, though, if we are dead in space here in Klingon territory and we're pinging for cloaked ships, they might get a little irritated.
Well, maybe we could detect for distortion waves in subspace?
I believe that the evidence that we have is sufficient to tell us that a cloaked ship is heading our way. I do not think we need to do any further.
It may not uncloak once it gets here, though.
Shiv goes, tell
If
him
we
your
are
other idea.
prepared for it to
Okay. But if it's coming straight for us.
Tell him the idea, and then we'll deal with that part.
Okay.
She's got a great idea. Shiv looks at everyone, just like, trust me. It's a good idea.
Your plan was great.
I do not think I gave any plan. I just gave the information.
Oh, Ren looks very uncomfortable back
Shiv
at
goes,
Shiv. I just had a thought that when a possible, definitely Klingon ship that is cloaked coming our way were to possibly scan, maybe don't have the ship look like it's dead in the water, just ping the existing distress signal from the planet back onto ours so it just looks like one signal, one distress call. Cloak the Sally Ride in their signal.
That could work.
Of course, this is all under the assumption that they haven't detected us yet. They have, I don't know what they're going to do, but at the very least, if they have detected us and we blast the signal in their direction,
It just looks like we're helping.
it just looks like we're helping.
Yes, I think that is a good plan, Chief Ren.
Thank you.
Martinez just goes, nice. All right, let's see to it then. Stands up, says dismissed.
Talon stands up, looks at Ren.
I think she likes me.
I can never tell.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I mean, that could, for me, that could mean anything. From down here,
Yeah, for
head nod.
you it can
Yeah.
mean anything.
All right. So, Ops Chief, you are going to need to make a roll here.
I imagined I would.
Jiv is going to not assist. You are going to have the Sally Ride
Okay.
assisting.
I was gonna say, what, you tired me?
Would,
Oh, sorry. Yep.
yeah.
I
Do
will
you, Talon, you want to
roll
roll for Sally
Sally.
Ride?
And this is
Make a
I
roll
might
real
keep
quick.
that extra die because
Yeah, no
a lot
problem.
of difficulty.
Yeah, my gift to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, this Chief is
Yes.
going to be a control plus engineering roll.
Okay.
And for
Actually,
Sally?
what?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
A control?
No, I'll let you do reason.
Thank you.
No, I think it would be control.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. You're trying to boost the signal of a downed vessel, of a distress signal, distress call.
Not my favorite.
You know what? Give me 1 second,
Okay.
because this could go either way. I don't want to make this too easy on you. You guys have been rolling crazy successes all damn night.
With one
you've been giving it-
complication.
You guys have been nuts. Ever since this whole
Time,
freaking
time
campaign started, you
difficulty.
guys have been nuts on the successes. Trying to make things easy, harder on you guys. Oh, here we go.
No, it's a bad
Starts
idea.
to
Controlling
burn.
careful timing. Okay. So just get a clarification here.
Any of these two. Except that one.
You know,
Possibly go on.
manipulating technology. No, it's gonna be control.
Okay.
Burn.
Character
Burning.
uses control when performing precise or delicate work or performing a task which is accuracy. Yeah, that's gonna be
And-
control. So control plus engineering. What are your focuses?
Engineering, warp core, jury rigging, damage control, and the last two definitely don't apply.
Okay.
And
So
for
none.
oh, sorry.
Oh.
What's that?
I was just gonna ask for the ship once you're.
So the difficulty here is going to be 2.
Okay.
So it's gonna be I mean, you're basically just amplifying a distress call.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
I
I
have
do
to hide our signature.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Would I do like engineering and structure, sensors, computers?
I'm gonna spin.
Communications?
Dun, 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 I'm gonna spin threat here. I'm gonna spend 2 points of threat, and I'm going to increase the complication range by 2. So it's gonna be 18 and higher is a complication,
Okay.
and
And we spent a momentum on me.
Yes.
I can roll another die.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you say what should the ship roll?
And then my focus is 5.
the ship should roll. She's gonna make her.
Yeah, we should.
This will be comms plus engineering.
Comm and
Comm and engineering.
Great.
Difficulty is 2. Go ahead and make the roll.
Yes. Success.
Okay. Any 18s? 18 or higher?
Okay.
She was happy until I asked
Can't
that.
be good.
No, I wasn't happy before you said that.
okay.
I just got more sad when you said that.
Oh, okay.
Can you spend a determination to do a total reroll?
I'm gonna.
Okay. What,
Oh, good.
What value are you calling
I'm gonna because I got 0 successes and a complication.
for? Give me the juice. All right.
Because you went with control
Yeah.
and engineering. So I'm spending my thing for the day.
All right.
You have to declare which of these values you're using, but I feel you have a couple that apply.
There. Yeah.
Like
And
that
I
one
think-
or that one.
Yeah. Any.
You get to re-roll it. Go ahead and give the re-roll.
I got a success.
Okay.
The 15 was cocked.
Listen.
Oh.
If you get a
It
6.
was wobbly. I'm just saying it was caught on the top of your
It was.
pad, and it was.
I trust you. I'll let you
Okay.
re-roll it. If it's cocked,
I
if it's a
wasn't
cocked
gonna
die, I
take it, but
trust
she
you.
said because it
Yeah.
was cocked.
Yeah, I trust you.
It's like yeah.
Go ahead and make the re-roll then. But I'll tell you now, the Sally Ride rolled 1 success. Difficulty was 2. You
Yeah.
rolled a success. So you've already succeeded. So go
Yes.
ahead and roll this last die.
okay.
Thank God. Thank God. If I was playing D&D right now, I'd be having so much fun.
Oh yeah.
But 1 success and 1 complication.
Yes. All right. So you blast out that signal,
Yeah.
and as you're seeing the signal pulsate through the computer system, you're kind of smiling as it's working,
Okay.
and you realize suddenly as you're watching the effects go out on that you're actually not only broadcasting the signal, but you're broadcasting Sally Ride's location as well. It takes you a second,
So it's
but
just
you realize
I did it.
But you realize you've using the deflector dish and in the comm technology on the Sally Ride, you basically turned this distress signal into an amp in space. And so instead of getting on the megaphone and sort of trying to drown out the sounds that the Sally Ride's making, you basically gave the Sally Ride a megaphone also.
Oh no.
Heck of a complication.
Yep. Captain or Lieutenant, somebody.
I'm right here, Jiv says to you, looking at you. What did you do?
You told me to tell that we may have to change our tactic, sir.
And that's where we're going to pause for our break. So we will be back in 10 minutes as we take a quick break. Stay tuned as we change our tactics, sir. All right, welcome back, everybody, to Shield of Tomorrow, the Star Trek RPG show. We're back from our extended break there. Normally we take a break at 9 our time, but it's been a good game tonight, so we kind of just went over. Yeah. Or 8:30. 8:30 is when we take our break. It's 9 o'clock. It's just past 9 now. So normally, it's that time shift. All right. I have a winner for our contest. Star Trek Online. The Legend Thok
Ooh.
just won a Temporal Agent Pack from Star Trek Online.
Congratulations!
Congratulations. Don't forget to check out, we have a fleet on Star Trek Online. It is the Shield of Tomorrow fleet. We also have a Klingon counterpart called the Sword of Tomorrow. And Xbox players and PlayStation players, don't forget, we also have a fleet there as well. So definitely look for us on that one as well. And I believe, I didn't have the information in front of me, but I believe it's also Shield of Tomorrow. So don't forget to check us out there because we need help in all of the platforms. Let us conquer Star Trek Online.
Found the Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seriously, everyone sign up for the Klingon fleet because Klingon's my faction, and
You don't say.
I love Klingon.
You hide it so well.
I love it. All right.
Speaking of,
So let's jump back in, because where we last left off, Chief Wren was blasting out, trying to amplify a distress signal.
Good job. I mean, good job.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
Succeeded at boosting.
So just like blasted it out, like feedback on a guitar amp, right?
That would be a good metaphor to use, yeah.
Did anyone on this station happen to pick that up?
On this station?
Like
we are.
Were you?
on Kendra?
Planet.
We can't even get hails.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, she
maybe.
blasted
But
it
I
down.
fudged up real bad.
Is this so bad that like
that I
it's good.
succeeded again.
Tell you what,
Full circle.
Double negative. It works
if you spend advantage, I'll let it happen.
that costs
Do we
2
want that to
momentum,
happen?
y'all?
That's all that we have left.
We should save it. We're about to go rescue people.
Yes, because it's not like you
Also-
guys generate momentum every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No, because you're giving
I'll
us
just check
difficulty
a few
for
more
Sam has got everyone paranoid.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not the paranoid one, Rue is, and Rue is not paranoid. Rue is right.
Because even if we did hear it, what can we
great.
do? Like, there's nothing we can do.
That's true.
It's
You
more
guys-
of a
you guys
heads
know
up
that it's
that
there.
like something's
did a
going
thing.
awry.
That's true.
That was the idea here.
Ah.
But we don't reward clever ideas. No. Let's go.
Oh, this
do
ship.
it.
You kidding me? That's why I'm punishing Gina right now. Getting that complication.
That's just because you're a GM, though.
I know, it's true.
No, we can definitely
Kinda
spend the
fun,
momentum if you want to. We
Up
should
to
spend it.
y'all. Like, whatever we're feeling, but that's available to us.
Let's do it. Why not? Do we want to find that out?
So, what's up? Do we want to
Do we want to spend the momentum? And
No, I'm about to make some social rolls against some Klingons. I need it.
Okay.
I suck.
Um,
That's
I got the
that's
social
my
part.
Ooh, I used to have diplomacy.
you're an
I
edit.
don't anymore. I could have come and be like, hang on.
I do have some plan for the
Let's sit
Klingons.
down.
I don't know how it would go.
Let's just share.
Let's just
meal
all.
together.
I am charming. I can use that focus. That's true. You are.
Sorry.
The Klingons
right.
like,
Focuses.
ah,
That was Eric's
but
idea.
we did not know you had such a wonderful Bajoran woman with such incredible skill at being diplomatic.
Let's all sit down and
Tea
drink
party.
some blood wine.
She is
Okay, let's
correct.
do it.
Let's
We do
Selling
have
us.
that blood wine.
Not with us. Not on the
Yeah, on the Sally Ride you do.
on the Sally Ride.
Right, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you do.
We
You got
do,
the blood
yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
You're just
Um,
busting
Maybe
out
the
an
girl
invitation
class
for
wants to go for a drink.
Yeah.
Blood wine party.
But yeah.
10 o'clock.
All right.
That's what we did.
Let's do this. We got to save those people.
So this is the tricky part, because now we've basically, where we have left off is this ship, so presumably a Klingon vessel that is approaching, has now, if they didn't know you were here before, they definitely do now.
Do I pick that up on my sensors?
I told you.
That we
There's
did that?
there's no way.
Oh, you did. Okay.
The ship-wide alert goes off that you're
Oh.
receiving a distress signal.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because the way you amplified it basically caused a feedback loop. So the Sally Ride is both sending and receiving the distress signal at the same time. Like I said, you have put the distress signal. It's like putting a microphone next to a megaphone and blasting it. So you guys, yeah. So your plan worked and failed, basically.
So like, what would they have caught? Like,
Yeah,
what
what would we-
what are
yeah.
people seeing then?
Do we know? What do we know about what just happened?
All you know is that if they didn't know where the Sally Ride's position was, they would definitely know now.
Okay, so we're caught up. We know.
Okay.
But what else they would know, you don't have that information yet. Again, the Sally Ride has telescopic sensors. I mean, you guys can see light years and light years beyond the typical starship. It is a scout class vessel, though, which means it's all about sneaking in and spotting things. So who knows? But
Maybe it'll work in our favor.
think of it like this. It's like trying to get out of the house before the bad guy knows that you're creeping away and you stepped on a creaky floorboard. It's kind of like that thing. So now the bad guy knows you're downstairs, kind
I
of deal.
didn't step on a creaky thing. I said, I'm down here.
You were like, no, you were walking around and you went, oh my god, that floorboard is loose. Hold on a second. I'm just
Watch out! Don't step here.
Listen, when you're coming down to kill me, just avoid this area.
It'll be fixed soon.
Okay, so, and that is where we left off. The ship-wide sensors are picking up the distress signal that you guys are amplifying. So it becomes apparent to both the chief and everybody else on the bridge that this has taken place. Shiv goes, compensating. Hold on. and he is going to try to work in. Well,
evil eye.
if it makes you feel any better there, Ren, you might not be alone.
Oh, snap.
I don't think that makes us feel better.
Feel better?
That feels like the other thing.
I'm still on the ship that we want to hide. What did you do? Who did this?
Well,
was it Jiv? Did you do this shit?
Real hard.
Oh, make sure you're
Jiv
not
doesn't
confusing.
goof hard often, but tonight he goofed.
Jiv is going to go ahead and burn his determination
Yeah.
to re-roll this.
What are Jiv's values?
Yeah,
What are
can we
Jiv's
know
values?
what it is?
Huh?
What are Jiv's values?
His value,
have
the one
focuses?
that I'm tapping is, if it's difficult, it's worth it.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Don't confuse the critical successes and the critical fails again.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
No, that actually turned out just fine.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
still
mean, I
worked,
still,
but I'm
like,
saying,
intimidated
You
the hell out of his ass.
you
That's
still
not
beat Zazrit's successes by
By, like,
2.
2, yeah.
So
Of
Zazrit
course.
still urinated himself and beamed you off his ship.
but I'm also saying, like, in case you forgot again and got just like.
Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Thank you.
In case,
PSA with Bonnie.
Why don't you run that medical scan on Sage again one more time, just
the more you
to
know.
make sure.
I don't like shots.
Okay.
Give me a sucker.
Veteran.
Replicated sucker.
I didn't. Hold on. Jiv is a veteran, so when he spends his determination, he gets to, and he regenerated his determination point.
That's a good one.
Is a real good one.
That is a rad one.
Be in Starfleet for a long time, y'all.
Oh no, I don't like his face. What did you do? What did you do? Shiv, go back to the other world.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
What did you roll?
You need the dice jail, Eric.
Because we were doing
I'm
so
sorry.
well.
I know we're
Dice
trying to move
break.
forward
Did
here.
you just blow up the ship?
I'm gonna take a picture of that one.
Oh no.
I'm gonna take a
How
picture
much
of
damage
that
control
one.
do I have to do right now?
Hector's like, I leave for one.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, y'all making me look real bad as a CO.
Yeah,
Are you
okay.
guys so happy you left us on the ship?
Wow.
Remember how I said I'd take care of it?
Wow,
I
guys.
think I'm
mean,
gonna
wow.
switch to engineering. Someone else needs. I'm gonna
mean-
switch roles on the ship here.
Well, as CO, I'm about to get knocked down to ensign, so I'll pilot now.
Hey,
Okay. That's tweeted out. All right.
where's Zadis? Can we get
so-
Zadis in this?
Oh yeah.
Because
Can we get Zadis up here, please? All right. So Jiv gets on the comms, and he goes, "Oh, I'm having trouble seeing which. No, no. You watch as the deflector array that you were using, as you guys were you were using the deflector array to basically create like a ghost so that they couldn't determine where the signal was coming from. That's how you were sort of hiding the Sally Ride.
Yeah.
Jiv acts as he's trying to he's basically tracing back your steps to find out where the variable was entered that actually caused the
Blasted
feedback
everything,
loop
yeah.
and blasted it. And the deflector array, immediately you watch as the power levels of the deflector array fluctuate, and if there is a ship in the sector that was listening for distress signals, they all heard it. And everyone in the sector is likely to know that there's a Federation starship at stations keeping in the safety corridor.
So now we definitely got it.
yeah, now we probably heard that one too,
Yeah.
right?
Definitely.
Jiv just goes, yeah, look, yeah, they're gonna, sorry, no, this didn't work.
Are you all down in engineering right
No,
now?
they're on the
Where are
bridge.
you? We're all on the bridge? Mm-hmm. Is the captain there too?
Martinez stands up and turns, looking behind him at the engineering station, he just goes, report. And Jiv goes, the feedback loop, the deflector, Captain, we're blasting our location to pretty much everyone.
Finally, my distress call is heard. Try to ignore me
My
now.
plan has worked perfectly.
Glad we good now.
Oh well.
Oh my gosh, I'm crying.
Turn it off.
That's my soul.
Jiv deactivates the distress signal immediately. You see that basically the deflector shield shuts down, and he just goes, how did that happen? Martinez goes, we don't need to worry about it now. All we need to do now is focus on what we have to do next. Talon, run another scan. I need to know if that ship is headed our way for sure. If they are, and it's very likely that they're beelining for us right now.
We may need to use the tachyon plan after all.
Well, let's not make any aggressive actions. Everybody knows we're here. Let's wait to see what happens.
Well, now we are more likely to be ambushed now that we have broadcast our location to every Klingon ever.
Well,
I can
Martinez.
try to check for more warp signatures.
Captain said, Martinez pipes in and says, "Don't forget, we have permission to be in the safety corridor. We are not traveling outside the bounds of what we've been authorized to do."
Captain, our shuttle, an Orion shuttle no less, we have sent it into Klingon territory, out of this corridor that we have permission to be in.
That's true, but the shuttle is nowhere near range. They haven't spotted it, and if they come aboard and give any kind of inspection, they'll see that we have a full complement of Federation shuttles waiting.
May I speak freely, Captain?
Okay,
I believe
Talon?
we are covering deception with deception, and it has become too complicated to properly manage. I think we should just be honest. If and when we are boarded or contacted by Klingons, we should tell them everything that we have done.
I would agree with that.
And then ply them with blood. Most of the things we've done.
Yeah,
Let's
good.
cut out a
Yes.
few.
Yes, and we do have that blood wine.
However,
Jenny Plant
Martinez
face.
speaks
Let's
up.
keep that one.
Let's find out who it is we're about to meet before we decide to be completely honest.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to endanger the away team.
Of course.
Stand down, yellow alert. Hello, shields. That's all you. Yikes. Martinez looks at you and says, "Lower the shields, Chief."
Yes, sir.
Let's look as harmless as possible.
Captain, permission to send send someone to retrieve the blood wine so that it is handy.
Have blood wine waiting in cargo bay 2, just in case.
Yes, sir.
The
second thought, let's keep it away from the greenhouse.
Yes.
Put it in cargo bay 1.
I was gonna say, should I go move the greenhouse, sir?
Let's cut back to what's going on.
Yeah, we're
on
getting
the
into
planet.
trouble all by ourselves.
Things have not been going well down here, and you two are stepping out of the med bay now to have a conversation with a very agitated crowd of Klingons. Stepping out of the medical facility, you are confronted again with what is becoming a huge thorn in your side. Jacques looks at both of you with irritation. I wouldn't say it's loathing or even rage, but he looks irritated. The Klingons behind him, however, look like they are near rioting. They're shouting and screaming and pointing as you all come out. You're hearing various Klingon phrases about Federation, being lab animals, you're responsible for the sickness, you're the reason why we can't contact the Empire, all of these accusations. And you step out, and everyone gets quiet as Jacques raises his hand, and he's not a particularly large or imposing Klingon. He looks like most of the others. He looks like he's a lower caste Klingon, a farmer, probably. Someone who grew up working, was never in the warrior caste. But whatever you've learned about him, Lieutenant, you know that just from being here as long as you have, that Jacques has always commanded the respect and appreciation of his fellow workers. He is a hard worker. He's pretty straightforward. Even Inek has respect for him. There's a lot of folks that think that he would be the next community leader here on the station when Inek inevitably passes away. And it doesn't surprise you when he raises his hand and the rest of the Klingons behind him just hush and just kind of look. Their snarling faces. Rue, you see a lot of like disdain. You see a lot of Klingons judging.
Yeah.
A lot of it. You've seen the looks before. Not from Jacques though. He really stands apart from the other Klingons, and he looks more level-headed, surprisingly enough, being the agitator. But as you approach, he's called for silence, and then he waits and stares at the two of you.
Jacques, we have good news. We've come up with a way to detect the disease. We don't have to live in fear of it anymore. And because of that, we can move with the help of the Federation over to the elemental control tower, and we can get them out of there. You know how important that is to me. Kavent is there.
If you want to make a diplomacy check here,
I sure do.
Lieutenant, now is the time.
Where's diplomacy?
So, how would you do diplomacy? This is going to be an insight and command roll.
Insight command. Can you help with command?
Or actually, no, I'm sorry. Sam was right. This is going to be a presence command roll.
Presence command?
Yeah.
I think I have something.
Insight would be to determine his state.
Okay, so I'm giving him reasons as to why we're moving forward. It's all very logical. So I would like to use my talent of doctor's orders, where I can use my medicine skill instead of command.
That makes sense.
As a counselor.
about,
So
like,
how?
orders and
Okay.
stuff.
As a counselor. That's right. Okay. So
Yeah.
what does the trait do for you again?
Doctor's orders allows me to use medicine instead of command.
Interesting. Okay.
Seems like the perfect
I will
way to do
let
it.
that go. Let's see what he says. All right. So yes, you may use medicine.
So it's insight medicine for me.
Yep. The difficulty
Oh,
is
sorry.
Presence medicine.
Presence
it's
medicine.
presence medicine. The
Yeah.
difficulty is 1. You're rolling against him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're rolling under 15.
Do you want to burn and we might be able to build momentum?
I think I'll be okay.
Yep, it's meter beat, and
2
that
successes.
is
Was this? Did he use it? He used a talent, so isn't
I
that
did.
a crit
a talent, not a focus. How do we feel about
or a
like
focus? I mean,
psychology or Klingon anthropology for this?
use a talent.
Well, I know your character's background, so I would let you use Klingon anthropology for this.
Okay.
I'll let you
Three.
have that as a
3.
focus. The reason why you were sitting here is because you specialize in Klingon culture.
Right.
You know how to talk to them.
Yeah.
So I'll let you use that one. So how many successes total?
3.
You tied him. But the tie goes to you.
Do we still get the momentum?
Nope, no momentum.
Contested? Yeah.
we don't
On a
get
contested
Oh wait,
Because
Yeah, you do.
on a contested roll,
On contested roll?
Difficulty was 2 and you got 3 successes.
difficulty was 1.
Oh,
You
so
got
we got
3
2?
successes.
So 2.
So you did
But with a
succeed. So you are going to
contested-
generate the momentum. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not. But it's. Did we ever find out if that works on a contested roll?
There's a tricky thing about it. We can just decide if we use that roll right now or not.
I'll house rule for now,
Cool.
and we'll. I don't want to slow
Yeah.
the momentum of the game. So what we'll do is we'll just house rule it for now, and then we'll revisit
Yeah,
that
there's
because
a
this is the
thing
second
about-
time that's come up.
There's
We've
a
been-
thing about it. There
Yeah.
is a
Forgot
more
what we-
complicated rule.
Nathan Dowdle's
Let's roll
typing to me right now, guys.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan. Yeah. Okay. So you see the look in his eyes. He's milling that over, and then he leans forward and he says, "We cannot stay on this planet. We're all going to die here."
We cannot stay on this planet. We're not going to die.
What is it you want from me then?
Cooperation. That's all.
Cooperation. How do we know that you're not running experiments and killing us?
If you think that you're going to die on this planet, then what is that going to change?
You hear a Klingon in the back go, "Ha! Ha!" He just kind of... I will give you 1 day. In 1 day, after a day passes, we will do whatever is necessary to save ourselves.
That's a fair compromise. I accept those terms.
The crowd they look to him as he turns around, and slowly the Klingons begin to filter back. It looks like a few of them are having trouble diffusing the rage. They look they were ready to fight, but they all start milling away from him. But he looks over his shoulder at you again, and you see a look in his eye, like, if you want to make an insight check,
I sure do.
I kind of do too.
you go ahead.
Like a ruse.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Go
a
ahead.
ruse
If you want
check.
to get a reading of him, because he's
Yeah.
not acting the same as the other Klingons. Go ahead and make an insight. And
I'll pop a momentum for this because my insight is always balls, y'all. It's never good.
I'm gonna let you make an insight command roll.
I'm doing like a security kind of thing. I'm trying to assess him as a threat.
Oh, okay. You want to assess
Like
threat level?
distinct from he might want command, but
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay, insight. Then, if you want to assess him as a threat level, then go ahead
Yeah.
and insight security. And you want to know what his motivations are here,
What the motivations would be.
specifically, like what his state of mind is.
Yeah.
Then I would say that's going to be insight command.
Okay.
Yeah. The difficulty here is, let's say it's going to be 1, and it's going to be a contested roll.
Okay.
Okay, insight check it. Okay.
1 success.
Also one.
You tie him again. The tie goes to you guys. All right, Commander. You get the impression, Commander, that Rue, if you didn't know any better, you'd say he was scared. Nervous, anxious. As he's walking away, I mean, that could be worse, really. That could be way worse than anger. Who knows what he's going to do if he's a frightened person, but you don't get rage from him at all as he's walking away. It might be easy to sort of tap into that, but for the most part, you're kind of getting the impression that there's a lot more bluster here. But here's the thing. He's either really good at bluffing or he is terrified to make a move. You're not sure what it is. His state of mind. This encounter, more than any of the ones you've had with Ajak so far in your time being here, the change has been gradual over the past couple of weeks with everything happening. But there's something about him that really just doesn't feel like... You kind of feel like he's really not all that worried about whether he lives or dies.
Oof. That's hard.
Which is an unusual...
Yeah.
Because he's been making a lot of noise. But as
Right.
he walks away, you weren't convinced that he was worried about it.
How would y'all feel about an obtain information? Would y'all be okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
There are 331 Klingons. There are 5 Federation. Why are they so scared? Why are they so paranoid of the Federation? Why do they feel like they need to attack or anything? This seems on the face of it
Yeah.
freaking ridiculous.
So with a moment to spend, I'll answer your question. It is ridiculous. From the sound of it, from the actions of the crowd and the way he's talking, chances are he's ringleading all of it. There's a good indication here that Ajak is stirring shit up. And it looks like, judging from your past insight check with this new information, Rue kind of gets the feeling that he's stirring them up in a cause he doesn't even believe in.
Well, now the situation's diffused, we can move along. I'd really like to get to the center as quickly as possible.
I was listening at the door,
Okay.
so I'm gonna like interject and be like, Commander, if we only have a day, we need to figure out what we're doing. I mean, we can't evacuate over 300 people off of this planet with an Orion shuttle.
That's absolutely true. We could evacuate them with Sally, but honestly, I don't think that the Klingon Empire's going to be much amenable to that.
And with a bacteria infection, that also jeopardizes
Yeah.
the crew. I do have an idea for, you said there were 12 people at the environmental tower?
There's 13 total.
13? I have an idea. I don't know if it'll work. And Eric, I don't know if this will work. This is more towards you.
Okay.
Okay, so this is an idea, interjecting. If we take the Orion shuttle and fly it to the tower, is there a way to drive one of your vehicles along underneath the shuttle and I can try and extend the shields around?
It won't work because even at optimal terrain, the vehicle would take 1 day to get to the facility. They're very slow.
Oh, I tried.
It's a good idea.
I appreciate it.
It's a very good idea.
And I assume Sally is your ship?
Yes, USS Sally Ride.
Does Sally's tractor beam... Sorry, wait. Can I?
Lana's like, I must be everywhere to science everything.
I meant shuttle, but also I'm not here. Can I not say it as a player, though?
It's a ghost.
I guess not.
Wait, I'm getting a message.
Your psychic potential is coming through.
My Bajoran connection.
Here's something that I this is one of the ways I like to keep people actively involved. If you guys want to suggest an idea to like pass on an idea to one of your other players, I'll let you do it if you burn 2 momentum.
2?
It's an advantage. I'm
This
letting
is
you.
why I didn't
I'm
take
letting
it.
you use it. It's burning momentum to create an advantage. So I'm using that mechanic and adding and giving you a price tag to help your crew, even when you're not there. It'll be like their character came up with, so long as it fits in the narrative. Like Rue wouldn't suddenly come up with complex astrophysical, equations that would solve, warp theory and.
But neither would Sam.
Yeah. So there you go.
How long would it take for the Orion shuttle to get to the environmental tower?
At full impulse, in less than 5 minutes.
Okay, so I could potentially evacuate that in just like 2 goes.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I could do it within an hour or something. So
Probably, yeah.
okay, well
right,
that's at least that's okay. That put things into perspective.
Yeah.
I
Full
wanna
impulse
get-
power. I mean, you probably don't even want to travel at full impulse inside
No.
the atmosphere, but but at the fastest possible safe speeds for a shuttle in atmosphere, especially with the environment, it wouldn't take you long at all.
Okay,
10 kilometers in a shuttlecraft. Yeah,
right. I
It's
just
pretty
didn't
quick.
know like environmentally like
Yeah.
what that would factor in. Okay,
Probably
well,
about
then
5 to 10 minutes tops.
All right.
I can do it really quick.
That is excellent. I want to get back to the doctor, figure out how she's doing.
If I may make a request, I know that it'll take up an extra space, but at least for this first run, I'd like to accompany you to the facility.
Of course, we don't know these people. I would much prefer you to be there, so they're not.
Larka's having an image in her head of just walking in and going,
Bunch
"Hello,
of
my Klingon
Klingons. Hi,
friend!
I'm here to save you.
Kill the Bajoran!"
I come in peace. I don't
Not
like
that
that.
kind of warrior. All right.
You want to make sure
Lieutenant-
Ben is okay?
I do.
What were we going to say, Doctor?
Was that in character?
Yes.
Well, I missed.
What was it?
I want to make sure that Kaven is okay.
Who are they to you?
He's someone very important to me, and I haven't heard from him in a month. And it was a week before then. And I just want to make sure that he's okay.
I understand. So, yes, you'll accompany Ensign Sage. Doctor, how has it been coming along finding the mechanism of action for this disease?
Would you like to roll?
Sure.
Answer that question. See how Throlo has been doing, putting together all the information. So it's going to be your standard roll, Doctor. It's going to be your reason medicine. And you, of course, can apply your focus. If there is anyone equipped to take care of this problem, it's Throlo Shasiros. This is kind of what you specialize in doing. So the difficulty here is, once again, 3.
That and reducing Miner's subluxated shoulders. It
What's
was
that?
fully dislocated, wasn't it?
What?
I'm being nasty.
Sam's punning.
No, I remember that. I remember.
Ah. Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Cautious gets real.
It does.
Ah.
All right. So
Frodo.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes
What was the diffs?
3.
on 3.
Difficulty was 3. So get that momentum back.
There we go.
Throlo,
job.
this bacteria, the data first of all, the doctor's data that you acquired when you got here has made all of the difference. You are certain now, looking at the complexity of this life form, that everyone in this facility would die before you had a chance to process all the data and come up with a theory as to what's going on. But this doctor who's had a chance to study this bacteria before he passed away, Venusian did an excellent job. One of the things also that you noticed is the final readings that he took and some of the most in-depth research that he did on himself. He did blood test work on himself, and while he was still conscious, probably still undergoing intense dizzy spells, was taking blood sample and taking biopsies of his own skin and running research tests on it. And it's been some of the most vital information you've got. You have no doubt in your mind this doctor knew he was going to die. And he was racing to know as much as he could and to leave it. And he did a hell of a job. This bacteria, once it solidifies and calcifies the inside of the bloodstream, not into any known... There's a lot of conditions in medical journals that are very, very similar to conditions just like this. Earth has had these conditions before. People, it's always one of those weird medical issues that just comes up and where the body does strange things. This bacteria, having never been logged before, is congealing the internal systems into a solid mass of inert biomatter that serves no purpose. And after doing enough research, you are now prepared to theorize that this bacteria is, in fact, a weapon of some kind, or it doesn't look like it's an engineered weapon. There's nothing precise about it. It looks a little too chaotic to be an engineered weapon.
So what does the word weapon mean here?
It means possibly a self-defense mechanism of either another life form. You've seen bites from various, in medical journals, bites from various animals sometimes do things similar to this. Not the same, but they react the same. Bacteria off of like the teeth of certain animals that Starfleet has encountered on away missions. The way this bacteria is interacting with its hosts would seem to suggest that it's almost like a bacteria version of venom that's being injected into its hosts. How it's spreading, you're not entirely sure yet.
That's super key.
But it doesn't seem to be... It doesn't seem to have the capacity to pass through air. And there are no bite marks on any of the dead who have contracted the bacteria. Plus, to further solidify this theory that you're coming up with, the bacteria dies when the patient dies. It becomes completely inert. So all of the bodies back there really are not in danger of infecting anybody further. It's a strange life form, to say the least. You've never seen anything like it. And that's information that you've just unloaded and after discovering all of this.
Does it seem like it's some sort of symbiotic relationship, or a parasitic rather?
It's not a very good parasite if the hosts are all dead.
Could still be a bloodborne pathogen, a foodborne contaminant,
Something in the water, something in the
fecal-oral
ice.
transmission.
When we first started seeing this was after we had the first mission on land to go and check the environmental tower, and the transport fell into an ice flow, and they had to spend an hour getting it out. They were in environmental suits, though, and protected against the elements, but I don't know if it's something caused by the environment or the water.
Have you encountered any other life forms down here since your terraforming project began?
I don't think so. No.
Because there may be another half to this system. But
You say it could be a weapon, like in a way that a defense mechanism. What if it's the planet's defense mechanism? What if something that you were doing was causing the planet to react in this way to protect itself from you changing the atmosphere or changing the biochemistry of the planet?
Like a planetary white blood cell.
Doctor, are you familiar with the concept of a backfire?
Like from a rifle? Or projectile?
When a fire is raging out of control.
Mm-hmm.
You set a backfire to try to starve the fire of more things to burn. Presumably this bacterium is latching on to some marker or part of the cell. If you can create a microbe that could spread through the population, just a sort of a cap.
And if it's something that dies right away, the bacteria would die right away.
If the bacteria can't infect the relevant cells, then people wouldn't be infected. And then there would be some chance that the Klingon Empire would be willing to rescue this population, if we can demonstrate that they're not infectious.
A protective agent is a fantastic idea, but without being able to determine the vector of infection, I have no idea who to apply it to and when. In the meantime, I can't be in two places at once, but you all need to take a look at those people.
Yep. Well,
Can we take equipment to perform the blood test?
Yeah, do you understand this readout?
Sure. Well enough.
I don't. Here you go.
Thanks.
Medicine
How
1.
hard could it be?
I'm just like,
Kidding, I'm kidding.
all right. You two go check out the facility. Doctor, you keep studying. I'm going to stay here in case our friends become more restless.
Tell them if they're here to preserve their very valuable health, the line starts that way.
I will be sure to pass it on in precisely those words, Doctor.
All right, so the two of you are headed to the shuttle bay then?
Yeah, and
Yes.
before I leave, Paylor to Saraf.
This is Saraf.
Lieutenant Saraf, you're in charge of the facility.
What's happening? Where are you going?
I'm hoping to go and rescue them. I'm hoping to go and rescue Kven.
You're going to the environmental center?
Yes.
Well, I've prepared some environmental suits in the cargo bay if you need them.
We'll take those.
Okay, be careful.
You too. Paylor out.
Saraf out.
okay,
Let's do it.
cool.
All right.
Okay, he seems nice.
Be safe.
All right, the two of you head out, heading down to the shuttle bay. Rue, you're staying in the room with the doctor?
Yep.
The room's pretty much empty at this point. It's got a few people. There's a couple of unconscious Klingons in the room. But Raga
How quickly is their condition progressing?
It doesn't seem like there's any progression at all. It seems like they're just in a coma, and the bacteria doesn't seem to be solidifying their bodies or anything yet. Of course, if the research is to be believed, then the onset of the solidification happens very suddenly after the end of the coma period.
It reaches a threshold and then...
It's like a time bomb. It sends them into a coma, gestates there for about 72 hours or longer, and then just...
So 72 hours is the average that's kind of emerging from the records?
Relative to the average, it's pretty
How far
good.
along are these guys?
Well, they're all in varying states, but a
Yeah.
few of them are running up against the clock.
Who's
right now.
closest? Okay.
Yeah.
I need to work immediately on seeing if I can reverse the process in those who are furthest along.
Okay.
And try to engineer a cap-like defense while I'm doing it.
Okay.
But I don't know if we're in the scene with me right now. Is this-
Doctor,
Yeah.
I know that you're reasonably well adapted to the cold. One thing that slows population of bacteria. If we need to turn down the temperature, I'll bundle up.
We should have asked if they had any coats before they got out of here.
I'll manage. I'm tough.
I still have your coat and your coat. Cool.
And
took both coats.
And an environmental.
Oh yeah, and I'm still cold.
So you go over to the environmental
Relatable.
controls?
Sure, yeah.
All right, so what are you doing?
I'll take Ruth's suggestion of lowering the temperature for the infected. Like, if I can lower their body temperature a bit, it will help to slow it may help to slow the incubation and development of their infections.
Like refrigeration, but for people.
Yeah.
So the curious thing is the way the room works is the environmental controls, like you guys are talking about putting these bodies on ice, for example, the ones that had died. There's really no way to freeze the bodies here, so you guys have just been keeping them in the containment area. So if you lower the temperature, it lowers it for you're not going to be able to, you have to, pretty much for this entire section, you're going to have to lower the temperature, and you're going to need access to environment controls.
Where are those?
Well, you can just contact one of your team members here to do it for you.
All right.
Actually, Saraf is probably the one to do it.
All right.
Lieutenant Saraf, Khalid Saraf.
Commander Rue to Lieutenant Saraf.
This is Saraf, Commander.
We're going to try to slow the incubation of the bacteria by turning down the temperature.
Colder?
Yes.
And you're in the medical bay.
Correct.
It's gonna be very cold in there, Commander.
Uncomfortable is alive.
Very well. I'll have an environmental suit brought down just in case.
Much appreciated.
Handing over controls now. Lowering the temperature. 30 degrees Celsius. Or 30 degrees Fahrenheit, and dropping, and stabilizing.
Yeah, we're gonna go into the negatives Celsius
so
here.
you watch as like the
That's super
it starts to come over you immediately, Rue, and you feel it too.
No, I don't.
You do. It's just comfortable.
Very comfortable.
But Rue, the chill seeps into you, and immediately you see Rue's breath as the environmental controls. I mean, the outside temperatures are so chaotic that the effect is almost instant as the shielding and the environmental adaptation in this room, the adaptation in this room, the protection wears off a bit, just a bit, and it comes down, and it is very freaking cold in this room now, just below freezing.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
That's Minnesota flip-flops.
Yeah, right? Maybe that's about one.
All right. What are you doing now? The environmental controls have come down. You're gonna.
Well, you know all of my goals, so tell me what I should roll and when.
All right. So it's just gonna be another medicine check. You're gonna check the status of what's going on with the bacteria now that the temperature has changed.
Well, sure. Well, my plan is to try to reverse the progress it's made in the cases that are farthest along, while I attempt to develop a defensive cap that mimics the shape of the bacterium and prevents it attaching to new victims.
Okay.
I can do those pretty much simultaneously by learning the shape of what I'm looking at.
Sure.
Yeah.
And also determining what differences the temperature change has made.
It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
All right. So
Any
go ahead
information.
and make your medicine check then.
Data!
Difficulty is again 3.
This is great because I just get to not stop pretending to be warm.
We should put some blue lipstick on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're
Blue Rue.
Oh.
3.
Still good.
3.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're scanning,
I want to build on
compiling the data as the temperature has changed, you hear that familiar, not good sound coming from your tricorder, the one that goes beep, 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 beep. It's the same sound the tricorder makes when someone's going into cardiac arrest. The patient, however, begins to just twitch a little bit. You're watching an advancement. Suddenly, the bacteria, you watch the solidification process begin to rapidly accelerate.
That don't
And-
thermodynamics.
But that's not the only thing. Rue, as you're watching this, you hear the sound of shuffling, rustling behind you, like it's almost like leather on leather, something moving, and
I turn around and prepare myself for White Walkers.
Rue, as you turn around and look at the storage containment area, there are indeed body bags sitting up.
What?
About 10 of them sit up inside the containment center.
This is so cool.
Wait, Commander, please call that Lieutenant.
You're on the ship.
I know.
And we're going to cut to
Turn
the
on the heat.
shuttlecraft. We're going to
Turn on the
cut to
heater.
the shuttlecraft.
Okay.
Blow
That's
on
us.
them. Do
We're on
something.
this-
Okay. Sorry.
Actually,
can't,
no,
he's
we're going to
cut.
cut to the Sally Ride real
Okay.
quick.
Oh,
Um,
you said shuttle.
yeah, I
Okay.
changed it.
Okay.
We're going to cut to the Sally Ride because
Zombies.
we got to find out what's going on in the Sally Ride.
Star Trek
ready.
zombies. Klingons.
I'm ready.
Um,
I'm ready for all of Klingon space to attack us.
you guys have been sitting here for a few minutes.
Yeah.
At its speed trajectory, whatever that scout class vessel was, it should definitely be here by now. You guys have been running at holding stations, and Martinez has already ordered 2 transmission hailing frequencies opened, and has already sent out 2 messages. Scout class vessel, this is the USS Sally Ride. We are at stations keeping after hearing and responding to a distress call. We have not ventured outside the designated area of the travel corridor, and we are authorized to be in Klingon space. We are willing to discuss anything you wish to discuss, and we will remain at station keeping until hearing from you. It's been about 30 minutes, and there has been no reply. It's completely quiet out there, and nothing has popped up on the sensors again. And Martinez has started to pace. You've seen this before. Martinez, when he's dying to take action, you saw him do this at the academy all the time. It was always before a test that he was completely prepared for, but he had to wait to take it. And he is pacing back and forth, just like in the old days. There's no response on hails. And Martinez finally just says, has there been any communications with the away team? Anybody?
I have not received any through our computer sensor scans.
I can check again.
Try to hail the away team. Go ahead and make. This is going to be a. This is going to be a control engineering.
Should I roll for the ship?
Yeah.
No.
I think I misunderstood what control meant when I.
Control is like precision. It's fine workmanship.
I know.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, because after this session, we're all going to get a spotlight, so you can actually shift around.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to give experience out,
kidding.
so you're going to be able to shift around
Cool.
Yeah, you can
stats.
That's good to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can shift
Finally.
one number around. It helps.
What should I roll for Sally?
Sally is going to be rolling her.
What's the difficulty?
Something.
The difficulty is going to be 2.
Okay.
And Sally is going to be rolling her,
What do you guys
yeah,
think?
comms plus engineering.
Should I burn the momentum? Is it worth it to possibly connect with?
What was the difficulty?
Difficulty is 2.
What's it gonna change?
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. Should we just roll it?
Yeah, hopefully
right,
we'll
just
get
going
some
for it.
momentum.
Just do
I
it.
don't know.
Do it now.
I might be fighting
check.
zombies, y'all. I need the momentum.
Yeah.
Right?
I got a success. Right on it.
I love you, Chief Ren. You give me so much. You give me so much.
Oh no.
Just so on top of my job today.
Is there any
The problem with running
success.
on
I like
Mondays
to think you miss me.
is that Ren is having a Monday.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. Can I don't know.
You got a
Focus.
success?
I do.
You got a
I have
complication?
yeah.
You already spent your determination,
How
right?
many
did.
successes did you roll?
one?
But
1? Okay, so you succeed.
but
I get a complication.
engineering.
I'm giving
To
myself.
give us some. To give us.
I'll tell you right now,
momentum. They're about
it's
to fight
not going to put you at
zombies.
ease, but I'll just go ahead and let you know. I'm giving myself 1 threat for that.
Okay.
Awarding myself threat.
Of course he is.
You send out the message. You open hailing frequencies. You have no idea if they're receiving you.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing, Captain.
Talon? Do you want to try to talk me out of taking the Sally Ride in?
You've already made up your mind.
Helm, set a course. Warp 3.
Shit. That's not
Do you need me in the engines?
The ensign at the helm says, "Aye, sir." Types in a few. "Should I raise the shields, Captain?" "Nope. Keep them down." Let's hope Bloodwine deflects disruptors.
It doesn't.
Jiv looks at you and goes, "It doesn't."
And Talon says, "It does not."
Cells indicating that she's jumping to warp, and
If Sage were there, she'd be agitating for so much more than Warp 3 right now.
Yeah, I'd be like,
the Sally Ride leaves the safety of the designated travel corridor. Cut to the shuttle.
oh,
You guys are about 10 minutes out.
okay.
No, I'm sorry, 5 minutes out. Halfway there, traveling through a raging sleet storm of ice and just blades of frozen water coming out of the sky, smashing into the windows of this shuttle. Thankfully, all the technology on the shuttle is giving you a perfect view of where you're piloting. But if you were having to look visually, the onslaught of glass shattering against glass would just completely block your field of vision. It's beautiful in a very deadly way. I need you, Sage, to make a piloting check.
Sure. What's the difficulty?
The difficulty is 4. And I'm going to spend
I'm gonna take this.
4 momentum, or 4 threat.
What?
I'm going to jump the
4 threat.
4 threat, and I'm jumping the complication range to 4.
Oh!
15, 16, 17, 18. No, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Great.
Oh no, 17, 18, 19, 20?
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
4,
Yeah.
right? 17 and up.
Okay, so
And what's the shuttle's
control
helm
con.
assist?
What's that?
What's the
Control
shuttle's
con?
helm assist?
The shuttle's helm assist?
Oh, yeah,
I have
thanks.
that here.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
Woo, Sam.
It's not Sally, but
Yeah,
it's
no, it's not
know.
Sally.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And this is control con, I'm assuming?
Yes.
And I can use my small craft focus?
It's a 16 or higher, and it's a complication. You can definitely use your focus. Yeah, because a 20 is an automatic complication.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
remember your tone.
You're adding 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, can I keep that
So
one?
go ahead and it's under starships.
All
Would
right,
I
here
be
we
able
go.
to assist as well?
What's that?
Would I be able to assist as well? I would like to use, maybe even use.
Tell me how you're
determination. So I have the value of I always keep my cool, and I want to use my counseling skills to kind of help her focus.
I would say that's going to come in handy in a second or so.
Okay. Oh God.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Save it.
I'm just letting you know this shuttle
what's
is
the-
so awkwardly quiet because Sage
what's
is
that?
just like.
What's the helm assist?
Oh, I'm sorry. I pulled up the page and didn't give you the information. The helm assist is. This is going to be structure and con, so 9.
Okay.
All right, difficulty 4. Can we do this? Let's go.
How'd you do?
I got 2 successes.
Okay.
Have you
What's
used your
the con
determination?
number on the shuttle?
The con is 2.
Okay, then 1 success from Shuttle's out.
So 3 successes on a 20.
Have you used your determination?
No.
You get a
might
reroll.
be
a daily.
You do.
Do
You
it.
have an untapped potential thingy?
I do have untapped potential,
Yeah.
but I have to succeed at the task first.
You have not succeeded.
Oh.
You need to roll. You'll need to spend your if you want to
Can I
reroll
use
this.
technical expertise? Because I'm using a ship's computer and sensors to navigate because I can't see anything.
What does that do?
Technical expertise. Whenever you attempt a task by the ship's computer or sensors, you may reroll 1d20.
We weren't
No.
rolling that though.
This would be Helm's control.
All right, I guess I'll just use my determination then. To
Okay.
reroll that.
So what value are you calling upon?
The faster I fly, the more I'm free. Trying to get. No.
Yeah, I'll let that go.
Okay.
You're good at flying. It's what you do.
That's what I do. That's what I do. All right, we got 4 total.
4.
Success.
And that complication is gone, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is gone.
Well done.
You
Okay.
can fly.
I can fly.
You can talk. Sorry. It's just every.
I can sing.
All right.
References.
So that roll was to determine on how well you land the shuttle, because as you're flying, the power goes suddenly completely shuts down.
Is that normal?
No.
Oh.
And as you ask, is that normal? The shuttle goes as all of a sudden you're feeling the impact. The inertial dampeners have completely deactivated, and you're dropping.
Not normal.
You're
Uh-oh.
dropping out of the sky like a lead weight.
So can I do something to try and get the power back?
You're literally touching a black screen. There
Hit
is
it.
nothing in front of you.
Can I open up a panel, do something? I got nothing.
You can, and this
Yeah,
is
right?
where you can assist,
Cool, yeah,
Mr.
good.
Coolhead.
Okay. What am I doing?
So here's what's happening. The shuttle is now plummeting 60 feet out of the air,
Yep. We don't have a lot of time.
and you don't have a lot of. No, I'd say closer to 100 feet. You're probably flying at 100 feet. That's a little safer. So 100 feet out of the air, which means inertial dampeners have completely worn off. So you're attempting a repair while you're being lifted out of your seat as the shuttle is the nose is tipping down.
Piece of cake. What's the difficulty?
All right, so I'm going to set the difficulty at 3 to do the repair to get the power back up.
Okay.
I'm going to set the complication range pretty high.
So
So I'm going to
Direction of
spend.
the wind and what's the shape of the shuttle?
What's that?
What's the direction of the wind and what's the shape of the shuttle?
The
Basically,
wind-
do we get Bernoulli?
You don't have any.
so we
Bernoulli happens
Turn
in
into the wind.
have to do.
So the direction you guys are flying, the wind shears are shifting constantly in the on this planet. And like I said, it's shaped like a nautilus,
Smash it.
so it's like flying a pancake.
Right.
I can reward you threat to get an extra die. Is that correct? I know I don't
You
want to
can
do
reward
that.
me. You can give me threats to get momentum.
To get 1 momentum, what does that cost?
To give me 1 momentum, or to get. Let's see here. To obtain momentum, you can award me. I believe it's 2 threat, and you get 1 momentum.
Really? Wow. You
I'm
can't just buy a
checking
die
that
by
right
giving
now.
you a threat. Didn't you just say that her piloting role meant that you guys were going to be able to land?
Yeah.
Because I rolled, we did it.
Yes.
But
You-
now this is.
So the piloting
trying to get
check,
power
I'm
back.
having you roll the piloting check to see if you put the ship down and not explode.
Oh, good.
This
But
this
see,
is
no explosions. happens.
So let me specify. This was a check to see if once the power goes out, this is to see if you can try to compensate for the sudden. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Right.
flying a Cessna when the engine goes out.
And now we're trying to get power back.
Right. You're trying to
Okay.
get power back online, but as you saw the lights begin to flicker, it was a brief moment where you tried to angle the shuttle up, like it was instinct. That
Yeah.
moment of instinct where you realized that the shuttle was going down in power.
Okay.
So you've angled yourself in such a way that you kind of nosed up a little bit when you saw that the issue was happening, and then the power shuts down.
Jesus. So
I still don't understand what you accomplished with your success just
we didn't
now.
explode and die.
No.
And it-
So again,
we
so
get
the shuttle power was going out. So just for really, without telling you what what Sage was doing for dramatic effect, I was letting you know that she was making a roll to basically see if she could compensate for the sudden drop in power. So before the power went out, your successful roll means you angled the nose of the ship up.
So we didn't basically just do it.
So instead of doing a nosedive and exploding in a crash, she's kind of basically angled it up so now that you have a chance to hit the ground and without colliding and destroying the shuttle outright.
You're
You know what I'm
welcome.
saying?
Thanks.
So it's basically like a quick moment of instinct where Sage, you saw the power dropping
something was
levels.
wrong.
You immediately tried to angle the shuttle up and put it towards the wind so you would have a shot, and then the power dropped.
Okay.
So now, Sage isn't really talking. Sage is going into the Zen place because when the power drops without saying anything, she immediately leans forward and rips one of the panel sides off and shoves her hand inside to try to get power back on.
Getting in the guts.
Once again. So
But I saw her do this with the door, so I
you
trust
saw her
it.
do this before. This is the second time you've seen her.
I'm just
so-
ripping everything apart.
Yeah.
Would you guys be okay with him getting 2 threat? I mean, I feel like he has a lot.
I'm cool with that.
We can do if you guys
down
want to give me
He also
It's a
started
difficulty
with
of 3.
reasonably high
It's a
average
street.
because he knew
Um,
he'd use it.
Yeah.
so
I'm cool with it.
Are you guys okay with that to get an extra die? And then because this also could get more momentum for us as well. All right.
My threats I'm getting.
Do
are
what you need
20s
to do.
anyway, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like
producing threat for
I
rolled a lot of 20s.
okay, give me
Right.
1 second, guys. Hold on 1 sec.
Nice.
Just give me 1 sec.
I did look this up while we were talking.
Oh, good. What did you find? Is it now? If I remember correctly, what I'm just now remembering is it's 1 momentum for 1 threat, but then it begins to scale. Is that correct?
Essentially, the character may instead choose to pay some or all of that cost by adding 1 point of threat to the pool for each point of momentum that
Right.
would otherwise have been spent.
I'm just
Right.
taking
Okay,
one.
cool. So you're just gonna take 1.
Just
All right,
taking
so
one
I'm gonna
for an
take 1
extra
threat. All right, cool.
And I'm assuming control engineering.
That's correct.
Okay.
And what would you like mine to be?
I'll let you do control plus.
Having, like, anxiety attack.
Actually,
daring. You finally used your daring.
Yeah.
actually, I was gonna say I'll
Or
let
you
you.
trying
I'll let
to-
you
Is
use.
it daring?
Oh yeah,
it out.
Sage
If
is
it's
daring.
ever daring, it's
Is
called
it
now,
is this
right?
daring or control? That's probably. I
No,
mean,
I think I would
control.
agree with that. I would say daring.
all right.
I would
Daring
totally say that.
engineering. Damn it, guys.
So in that
I get to
case,
use my daring.
Xander, I'm gonna say for you it's gonna be control engineering.
Okay.
Okay.
And I can use my focus, and I'm assuming small craft or computers. Or something.
What did I say the difficulty was? 2 or 3?
Three.
No, it's 3. Yeah,
That's why I used
3.
that.
And I'm gonna
All right, here we go.
Spinning threat.
Ripping the panels apart.
I'm gonna spin 4 more threat.
I got
That's cocky.
3.
3 successes.
I got 1 success.
All right.
So 5 total.
No,
4 total.
4 total. Okay, so 4 total. 4 total successes.
And
you
the
get 1 momentum back.
difficulty was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So you get
4
1 momentum back.
successes. Sweet.
The power activates. And as you climb back up into the seat, you were leaving the floor. As you
Yeah.
pulled yourself back in, the shuttle, the nose angled up, has bought you the time that you needed to not get tossed in the shuttle like a pair of marbles in a jar. And as you manage to pull yourselves back down onto the seat, jamming your hand in there, you can see exactly where the problem is. It looks like there's a crystallization, same as on the inside of the other thing. It looks like it's happened to the inside of the Orion shuttle as well. As you reapply, you see the power go, you watching the controls flicker back on as the horizon suddenly dips and the nose that was angled up begins to angle down. The power comes back on and the shuttle begins to sort of like dip left and right, left and right.
Jump back on and
left onto the controls.
Try and stabilize. Yep.
As you get up to the controls, you realize there's no stopping it at this point. You're gonna crash. But you're
Seatbelt.
Okay.
As the shuttle dips down and smashes into the ground, just colliding with ice and snow. Just
Is there a way I could have put the shield up before that, or the shield's already up? Or?
What I'm going to say is that because you were able to get power back online with that successful roll, inertial dampeners are totally going to blunt this. You guys are not going to be tossed about.
Okay.
And the structure of the shuttle is going to hold.
Okay.
It banks up just in time, but as it collides with the ice, there's a sickening crashing sound.
It's a rough one.
As the entire shuttle just rattles and you watch chunks of ice explode up in the air. You also see water and freeze immediately right in front of the ship. It blankets the front part of the ship as you guys collide with the ground.
Ice now.
And
I'm Captain America.
Water bad.
you guys just survived a 100-foot drop into a bed of rock-hard ice because of your quick action. Yay! You're both kind of sitting there for a second. You just now starting to realize that your lives flashed before your eyes for a split second.
Mine was so pathetic.
Lieutenant, you're just kind of...
Oh, man.
You feel... It takes it a minute, but now the adrenaline surge takes place as it hits suddenly. And... there's a moment where all you're hearing is the outside ice, and then you hear, "Warning, crash detected."
Why are you flying an Orion ship?
Crash detected.
That's a long story.
And you...
Usually my landings are a lot softer.
The power begins to flicker just as you make the joke.
Oh, no.
And you guys can already feel almost like there's icy fingers, almost like something is trying to get inside the shuttle and the cold is permeating. You can feel it.
Right.
Like a heater on inside of a cold car on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's starting to already take place.
Suits on, Ensign.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we have to stop tonight's game.
Oh!
Dun, dun, dun.
You're gonna kill us.
I'm not dizzy
That crazy
yet, right?
rad
I'm not
roll
dizzy.
at the
I'm not
end is
dizzy.
actually going to give you guys...
That was amazing.
Yeah.
That was great flying.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job at rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took all life's been rolling. I took all life's been rolling.
Ren is like, you have done what I can never do.
No, you have no idea.
I cannot roll.
Ren was sitting here just like, damn it, I'm jealous. That was cool. I did a cool thing.
Oh
you
my
ripped the
God, are you
guts out
kidding
and
me?
You did it. Oh, that's cool.
Jose, we'll
Did
get
anybody
some
give us
guts
more
together.
story juice than Ren tonight? I mean, come on.
Wait, what?
Did anybody gives more story juice to the game tonight than Ren in your rolling?
I may have done a very big ripple in our
We got a
game.
ripple.
You are my threat point.
However, thank you. And B, most of that was Jiv.
You're not wrong.
That's true.
But let me tell you something.
I
did not reward myself threat for Jiv's failures. Because I don't feel like it's fair to throw an NPC to rack up threat against
That's
you
very
guys.
sweet of you.
So even though Jiv bombed terribly with a 20 and a 19, which you will see on Twitter.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of 20s tonight.
Yeah, engineers did not have a good day today. Except for your pilot,
Yeah.
who was jamming her hands in consoles and fixing shit.
Okay, Ren and I are gonna get into some real guts soon. Like,
Yeah.
Not real guts, like as
No,
in
I'm
real.
getting into real guts.
Yeah.
That's Rue and Doc's territory.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
play baseball with some zombs.
Ice is on.
All right, guys. Well, we'll pick this triple cliffhanger up next week, same bat time and such. So tune in next Monday night at 7 p.m. to see what happens next on Shielded Tomorrow. Until then, hailing frequencies closed. Thanks for tuning in to Shield of Tomorrow. If you enjoyed this, be sure to like and subscribe for more videos. We'll be here every week with the ongoing adventures of the USS Sally Ride. New episodes air on Geek and Sundry Twitch and Alpha every Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you'd like to see more, you can start your free 30-day trial on projectalpha.com.